Hi my sweet souls, and welcome to another video. If this is the first time that we're meeting and the first time that you're seeing me, I am the Hermit Tarot and this is my YouTube channel. A massive welcome to everybody returning and new. I have an exciting reading for us today. It's only exciting because I feel like I haven't personally covered this topic in a little while, and I definitely have never done it like this before. So I'm very excited to get into this. It is technically a what is next in love reading, but I want to split this reading into 6 different choices. We're going to be having a look at what is next in love for my singles, who will have 3 different groups to choose from. And we're going to have a look at what is next in love for my couples, who will also have 3 different groups to choose from. The YouTube portion of this reading is intended to be very specific and straight to the point, because each of these groups, 6 of them in total, will have extended readings. For my singles, in your extended reading, we'll be focusing more on your person of interest, focusing on whether they will be interested in you too, and mostly if they'll be interested in what you want as well, which will also tie into the advice portion, gaining advice from your higher self to have a look at what you need to know long term about that connection. And this is just what is next in love, so it'll be your next person or current person of interest. For my couples, the same theme will be covered. Long-term advice is the goal with the extended readings, but we're going to have a look at what you need to know about your relationship, focusing on that long-term perspective. So I do want to answer some questions. My singles, it'll be kind of obvious if that portion of the reading is meant for you, because we'll be focusing more on people who aren't in a relationship. You may still be in a situationship, or you may still feel like you're attached to somebody else, but you will technically be single. And that's how you'll know that that portion of the reading is for you. It is meant for my people who have either nobody or they're just not in a relationship. For my couples, you can technically choose that portion of the reading if you have somebody in mind, but it will be tailored towards people who are in committed relationships. And it can also be for people who are in a relationship but they don't know where they stand right now, or they haven't been in contact for some time, or they don't really have a clear definition of what their connection is. So that is my intention as your reader, and that is a closer examination of the singles and the couples portion. Now, as you can see, I don't have the groups laid out in front of me, so I will be shuffling live on screen. You can skip ahead using the timestamps if you'd prefer to just look at the crystals portion. If you want to stay, let's get into it without further delay. I'm going to be using the Kim Kran's Wild Unknown Oracle deck for this. Spirit, please tune me into the collective energy so that I may offer the most clear, honest messages to my viewers, to those who have selected this video today. Please help me to offer them the most clear, honest messages about what is next in love. Starting with my singles, what card will best represent Group 1's energy when we look at what's next in love for Group 1? For Group 1, we have Thanatos coming out, which is the number 60. Actually, it's the number 73, and that is for my singles. Group 2, for my singles spirit. What is next in love for my singles? Which card best describes my Group 2's energies? We have the box coming out for Group 2, which is the number 40. Actually, yeah, 44. Roman numerals tripped me up for a quick second, but I bounced right back. Not me tripping over my words now. What the heck? Group 3, please, Spirit. What card best describes Group 3's energy? Group 3, we have the Castle coming out for you, which is the number 43. So those 3 are for my singles. Let's get 3 cards for my couples now. What is next in love for group 1 spirit? Those who are in couples, what is next in love for my group 1s? We have the offering coming out for you, which is the number 64. What about my group 2 couples spirit? What is the energy of their love life in terms of what is happening next? We have the shadow, which is the number 28. Ironic that we have so much shadow today as well on the table. Can I get a card for my group 3s, those that are in couples, my group 3s? We have the seed. And group 3, this number is 66. Group 3 with the seed energy. Now, I'm going to go get some crystals that I feel align with each of these groups' energies, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I have my beautiful crystals. For those who have been watching for a while, I think I have these crystals nailed, guys. I think I know what they all are. You can correct me in the comments if you think I'm wrong. I'm always open to constructive criticism. I'm a Capricorn stellium. Give me feedback. Let's start with our singles. Singles group 1s. You have the Thanatos card, and you will also have the smoky quartz crystal. I'm going to hold it in the light, and then we'll also hold it in the shadows, just in case it shows a different perspective. So that's group 1. Group 2, you have the box card and the opalite crystal. This is sometimes considered a moonstone. I personally think it's more of an opalite. Again, come for me in the comments if you want to challenge that comment. That's group 2. Group 3, you will have the citrine. So for my singles, group number 3s, you will have the citrine quartz crystal over here. Going over to our couples now, you have the offering card, group 1, and you also have the tiger's eye heart crystal. So group 1, couples with the offering card and the tiger's eye heart crystal. Group 2, you will have the shadow card and the amethyst crystal. Group 2 with the shadow card and the amethyst crystal. Group 3 couples, you will have the seed card and what I believe is a howlite crystal. So the seed card for my couple group 3 group and the howlite crystal. If you think that's wrong, let me know, correct me. But those are the energies of the 6 groups, singles on the left, couples on the right. Pause the video now if you need more time examining the groups and observing your options. When you know which of these 6 groups you are feeling most drawn to based on your particular situation and the energy as it pulls you into a group, check the timestamps in the description box and the pinned comment. Click on your group and to join me in your reading. I will just add that I am including my quick 1-minute guided meditation. If you do need more intuitive assistance selecting a group, that meditation only goes for a minute, and it's created with the intention of really connecting you to your intuitive self, the version of yourself that is more aware of what we can't see with our eyes, so that you can select a group that you feel most drawn to. If you need that, keep watching. Otherwise, I will see you in your reading. So the first thing I want you to do with me is to take in 2 deep, mindful breaths. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Now I want you to focus on clearing your mind. It's natural to have thoughts racing at this point. I want you to embrace each thought as it comes. and let it slip as quickly as it came in. Focus on clearing and balancing out these thoughts so that they come and go without a desire to be attached to them. And now, with a rested mind, I want you to think of the first group that comes to your mind. It may be a number, it may be an object that I showed you. It could be a specific color, it could be a feeling that you felt when I showed you each of the groups today. When you are ready and when you feel confident, select your group and join me in your reading. Hi my singles, group number 1s. If you chose the smoky quartz crystal over here or the Thanatos card, then this is going to be your reading. Welcome group 1s. You are here because you resonate with the term single and you're wanting to know what is next in love for you. Now I'm going to put your card in the middle. We will put your crystal up here too, swapping out this beautiful crystal from my last reading. And let's just have a quick glance at everything that we're covering today. On YouTube, I'm going to aim to be very specific, very straight to the point, addressing exactly what is next in love for you, my viewer. In your extended reading, we're going to be focusing more on your person of interest, having a look at whether this person is also interested in what you want and getting advice about the long term with this person in mind. So to get there, we do have to start here. I'm going to put this piece of paper out of sight on the camera, but it's within my view, so I can refer back to it if I feel we're missing anything. So sweet souls, Thanatos is the card that Spirit chose for you when asking about what the energy of your love life will be in your next chapter. Thanatos is a card that talks about an awakening and being able to observe a truth. Sometimes it comes with a bittersweet feeling of us almost feeling like this information came a little bit too late, or that it came to kind of slap us in the face, highlighting everything that we wish we knew sooner. There is an energy about this card that feels quite dark. And I did pick the smoky quartz crystal on purpose because I felt very drawn to darker colors for this group. It feels as though the next chapter of your love life is about cleansing. You guys seem to be purging an energy here that is tied to a heaviness. And as we purge that heaviness, we're also very focused on our truth. It seems that you guys are either trying to draw the truth out of the person that you're dealing with in love, or you're trying to hold on to your truth as you navigate this next chapter in love. So with those themes in mind, I want to pull some more cards. I'm going to pull tarot and oracles to have a look at what is going on for you. Starting with the Spirit Speaks tarot deck. What is next in love for my group 1 single spirits? Spirits, look out. We're channeling multiple spirit guides for me today, so that's quite special. Usually I only work with spirit as a collective energy, but there's multiple ancestors that want to help, so love that. Spiritual team, ancestors and angels. What is next in love for my group 1s? My group 1 singles, what is next in love? They're showing me the Queen of Cups in this deck, who is very protective of her peace. What is next in love for my group 1 singles? They're also showing me the 3 of Cups upright. I'm hearing girls just want to have fun, whether you resonate as being a girl or not. Girls just want to have fun. May I please get 2 more cards? What is next in love for my group 1 singles? We have the 4 of Swords reversed. I'm hearing uncover. The 4 of Swords reversed for me is about coming out of a period of hibernation, slowly reanimating. In your love life, this is about you maybe thinking about putting yourself out there again. But it seems that you guys have somebody in mind as you do this. So there could be a past energy still. And you're trying to be present. You're trying to, I don't want to say forget about that person, but you're trying to not let your attachment to this past person stand in the way of you having fun. You're thinking about somebody though. Okay, so one more card. What is next in love for my group 1 singles? We have the 4 of Wands reversed. Another card that can talk about peace. But the 4 of Wands reversed is about making some changes to our foundation, getting out of our comfort zone, challenging our status quo, and seeing if we can kind of push the envelope a little bit. We have the Magician at the back of the deck, so you guys are definitely trying to navigate some crazy energies. The Magician energy can feel like the energy of people that we assume don't have a genuine agenda. It feels like you guys are skeptical in this next chapter of your love life. You're trying to uncover the truth. You're trying to unmask people. You want to see people for who they are. You don't want to have to read between the lines. You don't want to have to overanalyze. You guys are coming across as very intelligent, and you're reading the room. You're reading people pretty well. You don't want to be blindsided here. So your intuition is pinging. Let's get some oracle cards out now. With my Destiny deck, Spirit, what is next in love for my group 1 singles? We have Reflection. Interesting card. Wow, Reflection. And at the back of this deck is Spontaneity. Interesting. I didn't have to shuffle that for very long either before the card wanted to come out from the... Actually, I don't know what this deck is anymore. What is this deck? I haven't used it in a little while. What do we call this deck? The Green Glyphs Oracle deck. From the Green Glyphs Oracle deck, Spirit, what is next in love for my group 1 singles? We have the Pig, and at the back of the deck is the Acorns. Acorns plural, mind you. And can we get an advice card? What advice do you have for my group 1 singles? What advice do you have for my group 1 singles? We have the 6th house reversed, and at the back of the deck is Pluto. Pluto. Okay. She's still not quite fitting. There we go. It's a bit of a tight squeeze, so please be a little forgiving. There we go, that's better. All right, sweet souls, let's talk about it. We're going to save the advice for the end. Naturally, I think that would make more sense. Having a look at your themes in love. I do feel like this next chapter of your love life is about you practicing discernment. You seem to be drawing upon your wisdom from your previous experiences, and you seem to be very skeptical. You guys are coming across as very judgmental, and I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think it's a defensive strategy. I do see you guys meeting new people. I see you guys socializing more and potentially meeting people through friends or in friendly settings where everyone's just, networking, socializing, having fun. Could be a party setting, could be a bar setting. It definitely feels like you're mingling. Through your socialization, it's likely that you will have a friend recommend someone to you and say like, hey, I think it's a good idea if you link up with this person. What do you think about them? You seem to be meeting people through other people one way or another. And even though you trust that these people have your best interest at heart, there is an energy here of trying to get out of your comfort zone, but also being very skeptical about the fact that people usually play games when it comes to love. Now, I'm actually picking up on a very sincere energy, so I'm very curious to see in your extended reading who your person of interest is. But I think that you're dealing with someone who is actually not like what you're used to in a good way. They're actually coming through as someone that is a lot more genuine, a lot more straightforward. And I think if there's any blockages in communication, it could be because you're slightly afraid to ask, or you're just overanalyzing what they're saying to you and assuming that they're lying to you. I do think that this next chapter of your love life has you heavily thinking about your past. Even though you're trying to be open, there is still some wounding here connected to a past experience in love that makes you want to take this slowly. You're not rushing out there. You're not trying to throw it all away to put yourself into an unfavorable situation. You're taking your time and you're slowly reanimating, slowly getting back into things, slowly warming up, slowly opening your heart space. And that's why I believe we have our Queen of Cups reversed. I can see you slowly trusting somebody, but you don't want to make yourself too available to them. So this next chapter is about physically getting out of a comfort zone, emotionally testing the waters, romantically getting to know other people. Sorry, group ones, for that interruption. That was a phone call. I am expecting a phone call from a family member, but that wasn't it. So that was an interruption for nothing, which is ironically, okay, I'm not trying to be one of those readers that turns my whole life into a deeper meaning, but I swear to the higher power that that is where I was headed. I do think that in your love life, you guys are going to be rejecting people in your next chapter, as well as trying to welcome new people in. I do think that some people are going to want more from you than what you want from them. And I can see how like a friends with benefits situation would be better suited to some of you, because you don't want to dive right into your next connection. You just want to sort of dip your toe in, test the waters, slowly reanimate, and still continue to heal from whatever heaviness has happened in your past. So that's what I'm seeing with tarot. I do want to delve deeper into these cards down here. So to do that, I am going to be using the trusty Green Glyphs guidebook. I'm obsessed with this deck, you guys. I think that this creator is very talented, very intuitive, and I love the resourceful knowledge that they've included in this guidebook. That's why I keep going back to the guidebook, because I'm like, I just love all the different synchronicities. Now, with the pig and the acorns coming out together, I can't help but feel like this connection of these two cards together is referencing the opportunity to indulge without taking on too much at once. Sometimes the pig's energy is too much, it's too greedy, it's too gluttonous. But with the acorns being here, there's signs of promise, potential, and prosperity. So we can have like a taste of it without getting addicted to it. And that's what this next chapter of your love life seems to be about. Having a taste before we get addicted. The acorns energy in this deck is about minor fortune, luck, good omens, and prosperity. A pile of golden acorns tumble across the floor, and as the light hits them, they shine like little treasures. When you see acorns in a reading, consider it a good omen. Perhaps a bit of luck is on your way. Looking at that pig's energy in tandem, the pig's card is reversed. I'm saying that to myself out loud so that I remember to read that. We have an energy that is tightly wound, that is controlling, rigid, and misses the point. A jubilant golden pig splashes in a muddy puddle. The pig is content in the moment, needing nothing but the puddle it rolls in. Be like the pig. It's okay to get messy, be playful, and find joy in living in the moment. I do think you guys may be afraid of getting too attached too soon, of jumping into something. You're seeing good signs. You're seeing good omens, right? But there is still something here that you're not quite ready to let go of. And with spontaneity being here, I can't help but feel like you're trying to really let go. You're trying to be spontaneous. You're trying to be in the moment, but you just don't want too much too soon. Let's have a quick look at why you may be holding back. I think you would know, but I just want to know because I'm curious. Why would my viewer be holding back when it comes to love, Spirit? Why would my viewer be holding back when it comes to love? Okay, we have the Ten of Pentacles reversed. Why would my viewer be holding back? And we have the Seven of Cups reversed. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but there's actually a really cool little rainbow up here from the glass. It's really sweet in my opinion, and the fact that it's on the Seven of Cups gives me this beautiful like dreamer's fantasy. So I feel like an element of why you guys are not wanting to dive right in with your love life has to do with you being very careful about commitment. Some of you guys are not ready for a commitment right now. You don't want to take that on. And outside of that, I also think that you have goals in other areas of your life that you're trying to focus on, you're trying to achieve. It could be that your financial world is a huge priority, career. But for others of you, this is about family. You feel like you just need to focus on your family. And if it's not about anybody else, it's about the structures that you want to build around yourself. Feeling secure that you have something to fall back on before you get into a relationship. I also think that some of you have only recently gotten out of a relationship with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, and you're trying to be very careful. But with the Seven of Cups reversed, it's not that you want to play the field or anything. You just want to be very careful about choosing the right person to get into a relationship with. So that's what's coming through. It could be additional confirmation for you, but it definitely makes a lot of sense for me. Spirit, is there anything else they need to know about how their love life is manifesting in this next chapter? What are my viewers manifesting in this next chapter of their love life? What are my viewers of group 1 manifesting in this chapter? In this next chapter. Okay, so we have the Four of Cups coming out reverse. Oh, sorry, that is upright. We also have the Hermit card, and we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so if we have a look down here, it's not really happy down there. Let's put it back up here. I'm sorry, you guys. Not my throat being dry. How many interruptions have we had? I apologize. So we got 2 4s and a 9. The 9 is definitely a focus on you, a focus on introspection, which we know because you guys also got the reflection card. The next chapter is very much about you still processing what you want and what you've been through. So the past seems to be very much influencing the decisions that you make in the next chapter of your life. And I do think that you're coming through as a very wise person. You've been through enough to be able to discern. You know people pretty well. I think you're a very good judge of character. And there is this energy here with the Four of Cups of you manifesting some sort of stillness, because I don't think that you want anything too crazy, too exciting, too much, too soon. So the Four of Cups can even be an energy of boredom. It can almost feel like, yes, I have options, but I'm not really interested in any of them. I don't really want or need any of them. And that's why I think we also have this Four of Pentacles here, because it seems like what's most, I want to say, what's like the biggest focal point for this group is being able to feel detached. The Four of Pentacles reversed is like you don't want to hold on to anything too tightly. You don't want anyone to hold on to you too tightly. It seems that not only are you afraid of getting into a commitment, but some of y'all are afraid of being depended upon. You don't want people to depend on you too much. The next chapter of your love life is definitely about being careful about what you're taking on and about what other people are expecting of you. So I just want to add with the Four of Cups here, some of you guys are spending more time with family. You're not too focused on romantic love. You're more focused on spending time with family and on making sure that those sentimental bonds are content and happy before you try to add anybody else to the picture. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of what is next for you, my group ones. Let's look at your advice now down here. In your advice cards, we had the 6th house reversed coming out first. And this energy for me is very much about trying to gain a sense of balance, reciprocity, and also paying things off. I don't know how this specifically is going to relate to your love life, but the energy that I'm feeling, because I'm going to clarify with the guidebook, intuitively, I feel like this is about you making sure that, again, people don't expect too much of you. And your advice is that if you want more, you've got to invest more. There is a very practical and logical reason behind you holding back, and that's fine. But just be aware that for as long as you're in this energy, you can't expect to grow. This is an energy of maintenance. And your advice is that if you do want more, you're going to have to try to give more. This card, guidebook-wise, is talking about the realm of habits. While the 5th house is all about fun, the 6th house card is a sign that it's time to get back to work. Putting off completing your to-do list just results in a longer list. It's better to get ahead so you don't overwhelm yourself later. Look for ways to streamline or switch up your routine to keep things from getting too stale. So I think with that card being reversed, the next chapter of your life, advice-wise, is that y'all may need to switch things up. Really, that 4 of Wands reversed, you're going to learn maybe the hard way that you need to get out of your comfort zone if you want change. If this is comfortable for you because it suits your lifestyle, then that's fine. But if you are bored and if you want more than what you're getting, you have to release the reins a little bit and you have to embrace more. You have to really allow yourself to do things differently, and you have to look at switching up your routine. The Pluto card, I know like the back of my hand, but I will see if the guidebook has additional messages for us. As advice, this energy is all about transformation. It's all about being able to, again, use that wisdom from our past experiences, but don't use it as a container. That wisdom serves as a little bit of a guide. It shouldn't contain you and limit you from being able to try new things. My advice, sweet souls, based on your energy is to really embrace this next chapter. You are being called to expand, and in order to expand, in order to attract more, you will need to put yourself in an uncomfortable position. Now, with Pluto being here, the best thing that you can do is address any uncomfortable feelings as they come up. Make sure that you're not trying to shove it all down and pretend it doesn't exist. Let it rise to the surface, address it for what it is, and see it for what it is as well. This Pluto energy is about being honest with yourself first and foremost, about what your heart truly wants, so that you can embrace it and claim it without hesitancy. I do think that in order to reap the full rewards here, you guys are going to have to confront some skeletons in the closet, some old ghosts, and some old fears. The line from the guidebook that I really feel drawn to read out says, freedom from old structures and anxiety is a relief. And it is in that moment that you can begin to rebuild. I do think that things have come together in quite a messy but ceremonious way to be able to pave a new path for you, to give you the best opportunity to really embrace something new. That's what I'm seeing for you, my group ones. That is what is next in love for you. I'm going to take this into your extended reading now, where we will focus more on your person of interest. Who are they, and are they interested in what you want too? We're also going to get long-term advice. The extended reading is more to calibrate and just make sure that you're on track with your highest good and with your best possible interest considered long term. So if the first part of your reading has resonated and you're interested in looking into that, the link to your extended reading is in the description box. That link will take you to a page on my website where I host many extended readings. So it is very important that you make sure that you select the right group before you purchase it. Before you check out, make sure that the reading in your cart is group 1 singles of the What is Next in Love reading that I posted in June 2024. Thank you so much for all of your time, energy, and support, Group 1 singles. I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead until our paths cross again. Bye. Hi, my Group 2s, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the box card over here or the opalite crystal, then this is going to be your reading. Welcome. We're clearing energy out here. Now, we're focusing on our singles. So this is Group 2 for our singles. We're asking Spirit, what is next in love for you? There is a lot to cover right here on YouTube. I'm going to be having a look at your themes in love, what this next chapter of love is going to mean for you, what you may have to look forward to, the opportunities, the challenges. We'll see what comes out and we'll guide it through, finishing with some advice. Now, there will be more advice in your extended reading. For my singles, we're focusing more on your person of interest in the extended reading, having a look at whether this person wants the same thing as you. Are they interested in what you want too? And then we're going to get advice about the long term. How can you obtain your best possible outcome? What does the long term look like with this person in the picture? So, as I said, there's a lot to cover. Now, sweet souls, I'm filming as the sun is setting. So when it gets too dark, I will pull out my artificial lighting. But I'm not going to lie, I'm really hoping that that doesn't happen soon because I am enjoying the natural light. So I might just raise my blinds a little bit more and we'll try to make the most out of whatever daylight is left. So if you chose this box card, Group 2, let's put your opalite crystal up here and let's have a look at your energy. The first thing that I can see is that this next chapter of love for you could be about trying to balance out caution with passion. I feel like you might be trying to restrict yourselves and gain a sense of security and stability before you bring in any change.
Something went wrong.
Oh my gosh. Not Siri listening to us. Can you stop? Can you leave us alone? And that could be the energy because you are the number 44. And the number 4 for me is about a sense of stability, a sense of security. And because of that, it's also a feeling of stoicism, like you being a little bit reserved, a little bit restrictive, and very, very controlled. I'm very curious to see what other cards come out for you. So I do want to kind of just get right into it. Let's start with the tarot. Spirit, for my Group 2 singles, those that chose the opalite energy, please tune me into their energy. Please help me to offer them the most clear, honest messages about what is next in love for them. What is next in love for my Group 2s, please, Spirit? What is next? We have the 3 of Swords reversed. What is next in love for my Group 2s? We have the 4 of Wands reversed. What is next? What is next in love for my Group 2s? What is next in love? We have the Tower reversed. And we have the High Priestess. At the back of this deck, we have the 9 of Pentacles. Let's get some of these beautiful cards. Spirit, what can you tell me about this theme in love? What is my Group 2's theme in love? What is my Group 2's theme in love? We have confidence in the reverse position. And at the back of the deck is risk. Reversed. Interesting. Interesting. What is my Group 2's energy? in this next chapter of their love life? What is Group 2's energy in this chapter of their love life, Spirit? What is Group 2's energy in this chapter? We have the Mites, and at the back of the deck is the Dinosaur. Interesting. What is their advice? What is Group 2's advice, please, Spirit? What is Group 2's advice? We have Lilith reversed, and they also want me to take the lunar eclipse. If you're not familiar with how I read, when I talk about they, I'm talking about my ancestors. My spiritual team is carefully curated to include my ancestors, the people who I know, who have passed on, and people who I share blood with, who are no longer on this earth, and who I've never met one-on-one. So if that freaks you out that I say they, I'm talking about my ancestors. Let's have a look at what's going on here though. So having a look at your energy, I can see that there is a theme here of not having enough confidence and not wanting to make things worse. The next chapter of your love life is about you balancing risk with desire. And I do think that your lack of confidence is because of your recent experiences in love. There is a feeling of a lingering energy, of a recent breakup or of a recent rejection in love. You guys may be feeling a little hard done by, as though your recent experiences in love have you feeling as though you're just going to be, like your self-esteem can't take it. That's what it feels like. I almost feel like you're recovering from a rejection, a breakup, or a separation, and you're not quite ready to put yourself out there. In this next theme, or this next chapter, you're still healing the collateral of a previous event in your love life that had you feeling very vulnerable. There was a feeling here of a sudden shift, and now you've just got to focus on the basics: stability, security, and a sense of self. I do think that you're in crisis mode. You're doing what feels right with the information that you have. With that being said, I want to say that you're going to handle this situation really, really well. Whatever you need to do is what you need to do. The High Priestess is saying your finger is on the pulse. There is a strong awareness of what needs to be done, and your intuition is heavily guiding you through this situation, making sure that whatever actions you take, they are actions that are right for you, regardless of what other people think, regardless of how silly it feels. It just feels right for you. So I really think that you need to be patient with yourself in this next chapter, my singles. There's an element of your love life that feels very out of control because you're out of your comfort zone. You're still picking up the pieces of this previous situation. You're still dealing with the collateral. You're still having to cope with this redirection of the Three of Swords, which I feel was somebody else's choice for it to be reversed. You're doing a pretty good job of handling somebody else's decision to do something that instantly caused a dead end for you. Because of this person's choices and what they decided to do, you can no longer imagine a future the way that you used to. Your sense of reality has shifted, and you have to try to find a feeling of closure from that. It's not easy. It's not straightforward. I have no idea what you went through, sweet soul, but I know that in this next chapter, you'll be doing a heck of a good job picking up the pieces. Although our self-esteem may be a bit shot, we are doing the best that we can with what we have. And it is important that you may put yourself in this box because you are trying to just get back to a place of balance and harmony within self. In terms of your energy, this Might's energy is very interesting. It seems like you guys are feeling like other people don't have your best interest at heart. You may be feeling like there are even friends and family members who are encouraging you to do things in your love life that you don't feel ready to do. And that's not cool, first of all, but it's also making you feel a little bit dirty. You guys feel like the people that are around you in your love life don't have your best interest at heart. And you also feel like they may be using you, either for their own gain or because they have their own opinions of how you should be living your life. I can see with the dinosaur here, there is an energy in your love life of somebody from your past, and there is a fondness for them. The dinosaur talks about seeing this ancient or relic as like a friend from our past, but there is an awareness of the fact that we can't have that now. So the next chapter of your love life does feel like you are trying to understand how to move forward more than anything. I'm going to be reading from the guidebook for those 2 cards. These are the green glyph oracle cards. For the dinosaur card upright, the energy around this card is an old friend, a deep connection, missing something, and a strong imagination. A friendly looking dinosaur pops his head into the frame of the card that you are looking at. He reminds you of an old friend, and you feel comfortable in his presence. He smiles down at you, and as soon as you offer a smile back, he is on his way, and you start to miss him, even though you never really got to know him. So there is an energy here of missing somebody that you may have never really gotten to know. I think that you guys may have an attachment to somebody that you're still trying to recover from, because it feels like they're no longer here. It feels like you're definitely in the right pile, the right group. You're definitely a single, but you're still recovering from that. And if it wasn't this person, you still miss that person because they could have been the one that usually makes you feel good about yourself after you go through something like this. Clarifying the Mites card from the guidebook, this energy is about worry, disease, paranoia, and immediate action being required. You see a bug skitter across the table, and then another. Suddenly, you're infested by crawling critters. The itchiness is overwhelming, or is it all in your mind? Don't let the mites consume you. Keep your focus on something else. So I do think that overall, there is an energy here of you getting a bit paranoid and just needing to be very careful about your energy. You don't want to take on more than you need to, and you also seem to be afraid of opening up to other people. Spirit, when it comes to my viewers' energy, how are they restricting their opportunities in love? Just out of curiosity, I don't want to focus on what you're doing wrong. That's not why we're asking this question. I just want to clarify the situation that you'll be in. How is my viewer restricting their energies in love, Spirit? We have the Two of Wands upright. How is my viewer restricting their energies in love? We also have the Two of Swords reversed. And we have the Princess of Swords upright. So I think that overall, the energy in your love life is that there is an energy of openness here. I think you guys may have to be careful about thinking that the grass is always greener on the other side, either because you're comparing your love life to other people, or because you're feeling like you need to keep exploring, keep examining what's out there. The problem that I'm seeing is that the choices that you're making are restricting your opportunities in love. You guys may wait to make choices, but you may also make a lot of assumptions before you make your decisions in love. Instead of having conversations with whoever it is that you're dealing with in love, you may just jump to conclusions, assume things, and then make a decision based on how you feel, which isn't a bad thing, but you're stopping things before they can start. It's good to know where you stand, but I think that you may struggle to take relationships to the next level or to get connections off the ground because you're not communicating enough. You're not having these open conversations with people. And this may not be an issue you've always had, but it is an issue that I'm seeing in the next chapter of your love life. You guys do need to be aware of how social media is impacting the choices that you make in love. Not all that glitters is online. I do think that there is either this energy of wanting to keep up with people online, of needing to stalk them online, or needing to kind of find out what other people are doing before you decide to do something for yourself. You may also be relying on online tools a little bit too much. Spirit's saying you're restricting the ability for connections to bloom by not investing enough energy in the tangible. So one thing that's coming to mind is you may really enjoy the interactions online, but Spirit's saying the best way to get to know these people is by actually meeting them, taking things to the next level physically, and engaging with them physically. With the Two of Wands being here, a restriction is always assuming that something better is out there. And that's interesting because honestly, I would assume that was a good mindset. But I think in tandem with what we're seeing here, you guys may need to fully explore the opportunities you have before you write them off completely. Because I do think that you're going to have these strong opinions of the people around you being mites, when actually there is potential there, when actually there is an opportunity there. So that's what I'm seeing in how you may be restricting your opportunities in love. I'm going to turn the lights on and then we'll talk about your advice. Okay, so personally, I don't think that the artificial lighting is better, but we do need to be able to see. So we're going to use what we have. Now, your advice is hidden under here, sweet souls. So we have Lilith reversed and we have lunar eclipse. Now, I do know this deck pretty well by now, but I've been recently called to use the guidebook just to clarify themes and keywords that I may need to use. So I've got the guidebook here. As I find the page, I just want to share my intuitive interpretation of that card. It's interesting because what's coming through predominantly is this energy of discretion and guilt and shame. Lilith's energy can be very strong. It gives like a femme fatale energy. And sometimes with that energy reversed, we may have the tendency to martyr ourselves, to make ourselves out to be worse than what we are. And I think with this card reversed, Spirit's advice for you is to not jump to conclusions. Don't assume that people are all bad. Don't assume that you yourself have a horrible, like a cursed reputation or something. There is this energy of breaking out of a victim mentality. Your advice is to embrace the opportunities for what they are by making sure that you're not projecting your past onto them. And I think you have to be very careful about generalizing yourself, stereotyping yourself, and the people that you're going to be meeting. This card does talk about being the shadow in this guidebook. And it also says that when we stand up for ourselves, we are often faced with backlash and further punishment. Lilith asks that we don't back down. Continue to push forward. In fact, you have the capacity to downright destroy those who continue to oppress you. Sometimes strength is just walking away from the people you are told you are supposed to love, or the goals and expectations others have set for us. So I do think that your advice is to be very careful about assuming what is going on in other people's worlds. I do think that your next chapter is calling for you to walk away once and for all from a situation that has well and truly ended. And as you prepare yourself for this next chapter and for what could happen, you do need to find a way to be able to forgive this situation so that you're not carrying that on with a sense of vengeance and pettiness. And I even want to say, what's that word? Resentment for what could happen next. Yeah, in the natal chart, Lilith shows us where we will absolutely not compromise, but also how to work through repressed anger. Spirit's asking you to release your repressed anger and observe yourself for how you are standing in your own way. Not because you're the problem. I will never be caught saying that, but because you're also the solution. Whatever problems you are facing, You are the solution, my viewer. Looking at that lunar eclipse energy, I really feel a sense of clarity coming through. I think that your advice is to embrace the information that you have, but also seek clarity. If you feel confused, ask questions. You know, this card is called the Illuminator, and the key word behind this card is reveal. According to the guidebook, the lunar eclipse occurs when the moon moves behind the earth and ends up in its shadow. It may seem strange that something in a shadow can be known as the Illuminator, but that is because this event only takes place during a full moon. A lunar eclipse carries the same message as a regular full moon, but intensified. Truths that we may not be ready to see are going to come to the light. Your advice is to confront yourself so that you can show up more authentically in a connection, because I do think that you are the solution to moving through any uncomfortable blockages. You do need to address this collateral head on, and that's why you're showing up as the High Priestess. You're the oracle in this situation. You're the one that can get yourself out of this box once you're ready to put yourself back out there again. So that's what I'm seeing for you, my group 2s. I'm going to take this into the extended now, where we will have a look at your person of interest. I'm curious to get to know them, see who they are. We're also going to have a look at whether this person is interested in what you want to, and we're going to get long-term advice as well in terms of what you can do in order to claim your best possible outcome, the highest possible outcome. So let's see what happens. If that sounds interesting to you, and especially if the first part of your reading did resonate, the link to your extended will be in the description box and the pinned comment. That link will take you to my website where I host all my extended readings, group 2. So make sure that you're selecting the right group before you purchase it. Triple check before you check out, before you spend any money. Make sure you've purchased group 2 singles of my What is Next in Love reading that I posted in June 2024. With that being said, if this is where you are leaving us, thank you so much for all your time, your energy, and your support. I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Until we meet again, bye. Hi, my group 3 singles, and welcome to your reading. Unfortunately, I am now filming at nighttime, which means we are using artificial lighting. I'm going to do my best to make sure you can still get a clear view of all the cards. I prefer natural lighting. It's just preference, but unfortunately I'm limited on time and I'm high with energy, so we're going to smash out your reading. Now, sweet souls, if you are my singles and you chose the Castle card or the citrine quartz crystal, then this is going to be your reading. We're asking Spirit, what is next in love for you? On YouTube, we're focusing on that as your main theme, getting a better understanding of what you can expect in this next chapter of your love life. If this part resonates and you want further messages about the next chapter of your love life, we will be extending your reading on my website by having a look at your person of interest, focusing more on whether or who this person is, how you'll meet them. There's a lot of things actually that we do cover in the extended. We have a look at what your first impression is. We also have a look at how you'll feel about this person. And then I ask Spirit, are they interested in what you want too? So the extended reading for both singles and couples is having a look at what the long term is and whether you and your love interest are compatible. We're going to get advice as well. So to get there, we do have to start here. So with that little explanation out of the way, I'm going to move this as well. I've got a deck here that I already have singled out for you. But before we start shuffling more decks, let's have a look at the card that you guys chose. So my group 3 singles, let's put your citrine quartz over here. You chose this Castle card, and you saw me mostly, if you watched the intro, you would have seen me shuffle this card out. The thing about this Castle card is that it does give us this energy of having something to fall back on. Like, I really feel like if you're single, the next chapter of your love life is coming from a place of security. You guys have a solid foundation and you're wanting to expand beyond your current level of success. I think that you are my happily single folks. I think that you guys have spent a lot of time building this sense of security, either physically in terms of your material world with your material objects, or you've been building this inside as well. I'm getting an emotional security here with all this green, and it was hard for me because I do have a lot of green crystals that I wanted to choose for you, but Spirit told me to choose this citrine quartz instead. And the citrine quartz for me is a quick way of boosting your mood, of really just vibrating a little bit higher in terms of raising that vibration and bringing in some positive vibes. So I do feel like the next chapter in love for you is going to have these wonderful high moments, these big, bold themes of things to look forward to. You may be meeting a lot of beautiful people and you having the chance to expand beyond your current sense of stability, this beautiful foundation that you've created for yourself from within and externally. I want to clarify that theme by getting more messages now. So I'm going to be shuffling quite a few decks. You are more than welcome to skip ahead if you don't want to see me shuffle. Spirit, tune me into group 3's energy, please. Those that chose the citrine quartz, please help me to offer group 3 the most clear, honest messages for their reading. What is next in love for my group 3s? What is next in love for my group 3s? We have the Two of Swords showing up in the upright position. What is next in love, Spirit, for my group 3s? We also have the Three of Pentacles reversed. Okay, let's have a look. What is next in love for my group 3s? We have the Death card reversed. Spirit, what is next in love for my group 3s? We have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. And at the back of the deck, we have the Nine of Cups upright. There's that foundation of security. Yeah. And underneath that is the Strength card, the Star card. Regardless of what you experience in this next chapter, you guys are solid. You have a beautiful foundation that you've been building for yourself. And I'm honestly not too worried about the energies that I'm seeing. But I'm going to get more clarity. So we're going to continue to shuffle. From the Destiny Oracle card, Spirit, for my group 3s, what is the main theme in this next chapter of love for them? What is the main theme? Hell yeah, we have honesty coming out for y'all. And at the back of the deck is authenticity. That's beautiful. Can we not do that in here, please? Dogs? No. Group 3. What is their energy towards love, Spirit, in this next chapter of their love life? What is my group 3's energies towards love? I'm hearing it must be love, love, love. We have Willow Tree. And at the back of this beautiful deck is Dinosaur. And this deck is the Green Glyphs. Oracle, y'all are making so much noise. You're about to get kicked out. Calm down. Calm down. This is the Green Glyphs Oracle deck. So, oh, we're not finished yet. My bad. We got to get advice. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Well, you want honesty and authenticity. This is about as real as it gets from my perspective. Spirit, Okay, less. I was going to ask for advice though. Can we shuffle again? What advice? Nah, we got our advice apparently. Okay, we have Uranus. And we have solar eclipse reversed. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Actually, I can't really. Look at the back is Venus. They want me to show you Venus. My spiritual team has been very active in this reading. I'm getting a lot of different guides come through. So we'll see if anything prominent comes through for you. But I've noticed that they're very active in this reading, which is kind of cool. Here's the thing, sweet souls. For my group 3s, I spent a lot of time shuffling. Let's get into it. This next chapter of your love life is definitely about being able to grow from the point that you've created for yourself. But that doesn't mean that you want to share your energy with anyone. I feel like some of you will have a very specific idea of a person in mind, or you will have a very specific love interest in mind, because there is this energy here of something very specific that you're seeking based on what you know you want, which could also come from an experience from someone from your past. The past came through in every group, so I have to address it. I think it's just going to be a theme that's common in the collective, but this doesn't mean that you're dealing with a past person. It just means that your past experiences in love have influenced you to want to be a lot more, I want to say selective, but also qualitative. If we're talking about what we want in love, you're accepting quality over quantity. The irony is, I think that you guys are attracting a lot of people. There's a lot of interest. A lot of people want to be around you. A lot of people want to work with you, want to get to know you, want to build some sort of bond with you. With that being said, the primary energy in your love life is selectiveness. You guys are being very exclusive with the Three of Pentacles reversed. Even though you have admirers, people that want to be closer, people that want to collaborate and work with you, you're not out here giving your energy to everyone and anyone. I think that you guys are in this energy of wanting to be pursued. The only way that I would see you chasing is if this person has already created a foundation of interest. They've expressed what they want with you. You've exchanged energy already, had a first date, or just, invested enough time to know that you have a level of security. That's the only way that I could see you chasing. This is my energy of viewers who wants to attract you're attracting that big fish, You're saying, Spirit, hold the little fish. Hold the growers. I want the showers, the people who are ready, the people who can show me that they want what I want too. Now, because the main theme of your love life is honesty and authenticity, you guys have a lot of little decisions to make when it comes to love. Little decisions about how you can pull your end of this scale of justice to attract an honest and authentic counterpart. I do think with the Two of Swords, you're going to have your head screwed on. You're using your wisdom as well as your intuition to navigate these choices. Don't overthink it. Let people show you who they are and react accordingly with your intentions at the forefront of your mind. Now, I do see you having a few people throughout this next chapter who may pique your interest or who may show interest in you. And I really think that it's not going to be hard for you to figure out who you want to pursue. I think with the Two of Swords being here, it's just indicative of all these little decisions that you have to weigh up and figure out when it comes to who to invest in and what to do with the reactions and the actions that you have available to you in your love life. Because of that, especially with all this Libran imagery here, I think that you have an energy of exclusivity around you that makes you more desirable. I'm seeing a lot of desire, but you're handling all of this with a very level head, sweet soul. You're coming through as very balanced, very put together, very kind of mature, can I say. Despite all of this energy. There's a mystery around you. There's exclusivity of like, it's hard to get close to group 3. I want to get into the castle. People know you wear this energy of regality, like royalty, like a badge of honor. People know just from looking at you as soon as they meet you, that is a high value person and they're looking for something real. It's quite obvious. I do think that a major theme here and a major event that I see happening next in your love life is a few opportunities to kind of clear the air around lessons that you've been through in your past. Now, I have to talk about the past because I'm seeing the dinosaur, which represents the past, and the death card reversed, which represents the past. So the past is here. We have to air it out. If you 100% are not into that, then you don't have to claim this part of your message. But what I see happening is either a person from your past or an experience from your past being brought up again to show you how you can create more intimacy in the connections that you want to build. There is an exploration here of intimacy, intensity, and passion, forging a more intimate bond between two people. And for some of you, if you've struggled with sexual intimacy, that's what this is about. But for all of you, this is about building a sense of emotional intimacy. And with the death card reversed, either a past lover is coming forward to help you work through some of these issues with intimacy, or it'll be a new person, but the experience will feel very similar to a past experience that you've had. Now, I don't see this being a bad experience. I just see it as an experience that offers you that chance to really work through blockages here. Because I do think that you're handling your love life from a very balanced point of view, with a balanced mind, making decisions that are both intuitive and instinctual, wise and careful. So in this situation, you're dealing with something that can't be measured. It has to be assessed in the moment. You can't go into it knowing how you're going to handle it. There's a part of natural instinct that just takes over. And every version of intimacy is different depending on the person that you're dealing with. So I see experimentation over here. And I think that you will be peeling back layers. I think you'll be getting to know yourself better. And I can see you getting to know a lover better. I do see some clashing because Scorpio's version of intimacy can get messy. We are met with resistance before we get rewarded. But the reward is high. And because of that, the stakes are high. So you wouldn't do all of that unless you really either liked that person or really wanted that level of intimacy for yourself. So it does feel like a rewarding experience, regardless of the resistance and the challenges involved. With all of that being said, the Wheel of Fortune here, closing out your reading, does talk about a redirection, a divine redirection. As much as you may be wanting something to happen, the Wheel of Fortune is here to remind us that things will always be out of our control to a certain extent. And one of those main things or factors in life is timing. Now, I don't see a right person, wrong time happening. I see a reassessment of expectations of timing happening. Because you're manifesting this, honesty, authenticity, and expansion from a place of such security, the universe isn't going to give you anything less than the best. And if that's going to take some time, then it's going to take some time. It's really important that you use this next chapter as an opportunity to peel back layers, to solidify the sense of fulfillment that you already have, the sense of security that you already have, and to confirm that the journey that you're on and the future that you want is really what you want. Your advice is also the same. If it doesn't happen in the next chapter, trust that it is still coming. The next chapter is like, it could start tomorrow. It could start in the next hour. You know what I mean? And it could finish before the end of the next business day. So this next chapter is definitely a transition period for you. It's a bridging chapter to confirm that you're on the right path. Things aren't going to get in your way. It's okay to experiment in the meantime, and it's okay to practice the things that you know, especially the tricky stuff like peeling back those layers and deciding how deep to go with people that you're getting to know. And it's really important actually that you overcome resistance as you feel it. So let's talk about your energy amidst all these themes. Your energy is showing up as dinosaur and willow tree. There is such a maturity within you that seems to come across as like an old soul to your love interests. People are seeing you as a rare old soul, someone who not only knows what they want, but who seems to come from a distant place. You're quite secure in who you are. And because of that, there is an energy here of you seeking that deep connection. The energy around this card is an old friend, deep connections, missing something, and strong imaginations, according to the guidebook. This card says a friendly looking dinosaur pops his head into the frame of the card you are looking at. He reminds you of an old friend and you feel comfortable in his presence. He smiles down at you, and as soon as you offer a smile back, he is on his way and you start to miss him even though you never really got to know him. So I do think that your energy is trying to be approachable. I can see you being very friendly. I can see you trying to emulate qualities that you've learned to love from previous experiences in love. And I do think that you're projecting an idea of what you want onto your love life. And if people don't fit that idea, then you're looking beyond them and you're staying focused on your vision. There is an energy here of you seeking something very specific, missing something very specific, and really imagining that idea. You're definitely my manifestors, that's for sure. Whether you're consciously manifesting or just subconsciously doing it through this clear vision of what you want. Having a look at that willow tree energy, there's something so beautiful and peaceful about this energy. It shows these bright golden sort of rays of sunshine, beams of sunshine being cast over this willow tree. And to me, this energy feels very nostalgic in a way as well. In the guidebook, this card talks about peace, appreciation, understanding, and spring. It says it's the middle of spring and you're walking through a blooming meadow as you come across a majestic willow tree. The sunlight spills through the cascading leaves and you decide to sit under it. Peace washes over you, and so does your newfound appreciation for life. So, I mean, sweet soul, your energy, you are my definition of a sweet soul. I say that as like I don't know what the word is, but you just kind of call people that. That's like my go-to thing, sweet soul. But you guys come across as the genuine meaning of a sweet soul. Your energy is pure because it's intentional, it's clear, it's honest, it's authentic, and you are attracting the same thing. I'm very excited to see who you're attracting, which we will cover in your extended reading. But I just want to have a look at the energies that you're projecting onto your love life. And I want to have a look at what you're manifesting towards you. Spirit, for my group threes, what can you tell us about what they're manifesting into their love life? What are my group three singles manifesting? Heck yeah. We do have the Empress coming out, and I do think she's supposed to be upright. We also have the 7, the 3. These are all Cups cards. 3 of Cups is reversed. What else can you tell us about what my group 3s are manifesting? We also have the 2 of Wands reversed, and we have the 2 of Cups. I mean, it doesn't get any more simpler than that. That card is just not going to be in frame, is it? I guess I can put it there. Yeah. That's a little bit better. Where's my Amazonite? Oh, here it is. At the back of the deck is the Wheel of Fortune upright. So where we had it reversed, saying the timing just isn't right, you're manifesting that to happen. And I do think that you will meet your next love. Like, we'll check in the external reading too. But I think that you're going to meet your next partner in a very serendipitous way while you're doing something that you love unexpectedly, with a feeling of serendipity around it. Like, the timing couldn't have been any more divine. There is an element here of being at the right place at the right time, doing something that you wouldn't usually do, but you're interested in it. They're interested in it. You know straight away that you have a mutual interest, a compatibility, because you're both doing something you're excited about, passionate about, and nervous about. It could happen while you're traveling in a foreign place or learning about another culture. But it is going to happen without you needing to try too hard. Now, in terms of what you're manifesting, I can see you, again, the Empress is this castle energy. 43 is the number on the castle, and we have the 3 here. So there is a sense with the Empress of that security, that stability, that level of, I'm okay being by myself. Anything else is going to help me blossom more. That's what I want in love. I'm manifesting something that can help me grow more than what I already have, because I'm very secure in myself. And I'm not perfect, but I think I'm pretty dang incredible. So the Empress radiates self-confidence, self-assurance, self-growth, self-love. And also this energy of being able to exude that energy to others without compromising healthy boundaries. The Empress inspires, and then anything else given is a gesture given in the good faith that I'm giving to somebody who respects me and somebody who is going to respect the amount of effort I put into this. The Empress's energy does not waste time or energy on people who don't deserve their attention and effort. So that's what you're manifesting. And it may be taking a while because of that earthy energy that the Empress has. For some of you, you've just started on the journey and don't think that it is going to take years. I do think that you're in a transitionary chapter next, and this chapter is not going to last long at all. But I can see with the 7 of Cups that you are manifesting options. You guys have a dream that you want to fulfill in your love life, and that's what you're manifesting, a very specific fantasy of a relationship or a person. Your manifestation is a visualization as well that a lot of you have had, either because you've dreamt it, you've daydreamed about it, or you've just spent time thinking about it so much that it has a visual weight to it. It almost exists in the reality that is your imagination. I can see that with these options and choices and this vision that you're manifesting, not just anybody will do. There's so much confirmation here of it having to be a very specific situation or person. With the 2 of Wands reversed and the 3 of Cups reversed, I think that you guys are manifesting something that starts off as a friendship. It's like you're manifesting something that has to be like amicable. You have to be able to have some sort of foundation with that person. There has to be a level of understanding. You both have to be able to meet each other halfway. And this person has to be able to understand either your lifestyle or the choices that you make for your loved ones. Because there are some things here that you can't compromise on, but there are other things that you're willing to accommodate. So there is an interesting energy here of you guys manifesting something very specific when it comes to love. And then there's all these other like little things that you're hoping your next partner will tick. I do think that you have other manifestations going on. I don't think love is the only thing you're manifesting. Some of you are manifesting like a career to take off with, and it's a passion project that you're really excited about. You've put a lot of your creative energy into it. Others of you are manifesting travel. and the ability to do two things at once. So like maybe traveling and working, or working and traveling. There is an energy here of you trying not to limit yourself. Your biggest manifestation is to still be able to have the creative control of your life, to be able to make choices that will lead to more expansion. And you hope to have a partner that contributes to that image. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of what you're manifesting. And this isn't just a conscious manifestation, group 3. This is what your energy is attracting towards you. You've pulled this so close into your mind's eye that it is a reality that is being brought into this version of reality. Now let us get some clarifiers for you. Oh no, we don't need clarifiers, we need advice. So down here we have Uranus and the solar eclipse card as your advice cards. Now, the thing about these energies is that Uranus's energy is about surprises. So your advice, much like the 11th house, is to embrace little changes. When it comes to your love life, it is likely that you will have a foundation of friendship with this person, and it is also likely that you will meet this person at a time that you're not obsessed or focused on how they are going to fit in to the life that you've created. They're simply going to cross paths, and it's going to feel like this is the person that all those crazy readers were talking about. I do think that your advice with Uranus here is to really keep your eyes on the future, keep looking forward, keep your confidence high, stay optimistic. Don't let love be the goal, right? Don't let a relationship be the goal. It's something that happens on the way to the best version of yourself. And I really think that Uranus is here to kind of boost your confidence and help you feel like you're on the right track. So I want to see what I'm missing with this card. Uranus in this deck is known as the rebel. I guess, yeah, the planet itself. Absolutely, the rebel. Spirit is saying I need to read out the symbols associated with the planet of Uranus. So according to the guidebook, blue apatite, the crystal, the sky, electricity, storms, lightning, and metal are all symbols of the planet Uranus. In a reading, it is time to do the unexpected. Take a leap into the unknown with the arrival of Uranus. This card is all about rebellion. A little bit can be healthy, liberating even, but a lot can be devastating. The choice is yours and yours alone. Going against the grain in a world that wants us to conform just feels good sometimes. Approach solving a problem from a new angle. Sometimes taking a step back and observing a situation objectively gives you a fresh idea. Imagine if the world's greatest inventors gave up the first time their ideas didn't work, or when their peers called them crazy. We would be missing all of these amazing things that shaped our lives. What contribution can you make to history? Uranus frees you of your limitations and preconceived ideas of what is possible. He is here to liberate you from the bonds of conformity. Yeah, think outside the box with your love life. I really think that your love life is a stepping stone as you aspire for something more. Like love kind of catches you while you're on the way to something more. You're focused on something else, and then you meet this person and you're like, oh wow. And they're like, wow, I'm going in the same direction. And it just works. You know what I mean? Now, the energy of the solar eclipse card, when it's upright, is about warning. The solar eclipse carries the same potential for opportunity as the regular moon, the regular new moon, but it does come with a warning that you will reap 3 times what you sow. So go forward with clear purpose. I think that this is Spirit's way of saying, continue on with what you have planned. Don't let love hold you back. Don't let the past hold you back. Don't let previous experiences hold you back. Stay true to your vision. Keep wanting more. Keep seeking more. And know that what you desire in terms of this incredible idea in love is coming. That's what I see for you, my sweet souls. I'm going to take this into your extended reading now. where we will have a better look at your person of interest, examining who they are in terms of how you meet them, what your first impression of them is, why you will like them, and how you will feel about them. And then we'll have a look if they're interested in what you want to. I will clarify what you want from this person, and we're going to get advice from your higher self and from spirit in what you can do to continue to pursue your highest good, your best possible outcome. So that is going to be your extended reading. The link to your extended reading is in the description box and the pinned comment. Keep in mind that link does take you to my website, and on that page, I do host a lot of extended readings. So many. So please double check and triple check before you pay any money. Make sure that you've selected the right reading from the right video. You're the group 3 singles group that I posted in June 2024 of the What is Next in Love reading. So that is what I'm seeing for you. Thank you so much for all your time, sweet souls. If you're joining me there, I will see you soon. If this is where we're parting ways, I appreciate your energy, your support, and all of your time right here on YouTube. Thank you for letting me read for you today. It is always an honor to do what I do. Until our paths cross again, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Bye. Group 1s, and welcome to your reading. If you chose this Tiger's Eye crystal up here or the offering card right here, then this is going to be your reading. Welcome. We're asking Spirit, what is next in love for you, my Group 1 couples? So if you're here, you are in a coupling with somebody else, and it is discerned that, or it has been discerned on your end, that you and this person are involved either as an official couple or as somebody who feels like you are coupled together with them. So I just want to clarify that this is the couples What is Next in Love reading, and you are Group 1s. Now, right here on YouTube, we are focusing on what is next in love for you. There will be an extended reading where we'll have a look at what you need to know about your relationship long term, getting more information about whether you and this person are on the same page moving forward. And honestly, a lot of other things do pop up too, just to help get as much information about the future of your love life and the future of this connection. So that's the goal with the extended, but to get there, we have to start here. So let me move that out of the way and let's have a look at the card you chose. Tuning into the energy of your love life in terms of your relationship. I feel like the offering is a beautiful sign of a gesture coming within your couple. It seems that your connection is about to have the opportunity to evolve into a space that embraces the foundation that you already have with your person, while also showing that you want more. Now, this could just be a gesture. I will be pulling more cards to clarify, but the offering is a sign of a mutual desire to continue this coupling moving forward. I think that the both of you with the number 64 up the top here already have a wonderful foundation of trust, of connection. I'm hearing support. Even if you haven't known this person for very long, the moon energy on here is making me think that this is an offering that has felt like it's needed to happen. It could be about emotions, making emotions more clear, or a gesture that helps you understand what the other person is feeling. Because it does seem like the whole point of this offering is to try to create a sense of certainty in the connection, to make sure that you're not in the dark anymore, and to really move towards this energy of compassion, passion. I'm even hearing sweetness, like you and this person may be trying to bring back a feeling of sweetness, after a period that has felt a little bit challenging or tricky or maybe confusing. But I think that your couple already has quite a strong foundation here. So let's get more cards out, my group ones. Let's have a look at, with tarot, what is next in love for you. I know that I'm filming with some low lighting, but I am going to use a darker deck. So I'll do my best to show you each of the cards before I place them down. Spirit, tune me into group one's energy. Those who are in couples, group one's energy. What is next in love for this group one couple? What is next in love, Spirit? For this group one couple, we have the Nine of Crystals in the reverse position. More sense of clarity with that card. What is next in love for my group one couples? What is next in love? We have the Queen of Stars in the reverse position. I'm going to get two more cards from this deck. We have the Knight of Stars in the reverse position. What is next in love for this group one couple, Spirit? We have the Page of Wands in the reverse position. That's cute. Okay. At the back of the deck is the Judgment card reversed. Wow. So the Judgment card is an energy of resurrection within your coupling. It does feel like the two of you are trying to reboot. And the thing about the Judgment card is it can't be the same way. In this deck, Judgment is heavily tied to Pluto. Sometimes, if to me, I don't know if it's ever been like this, but when I was first learning tarot, I associated Judgment with Uranus because it felt like an opportunity to have a profound realization that reinvents your future. But most tarot decks will associate it with Pluto, as we see down here with this glyph. So Pluto reversed does indicate that things have been messy, and it does indicate that in order to move forward, we do want to salvage something from our past, but we need to transform it. We need to transform it so that we can have a new beginning with this thing that we're still attached to in our past. And because this is a love reading, it's the relationship. You and this person may have had a little bit of a rough patch here because it seems like some people had some thinking to do with the Nine of Crystals. There is an assumption here of having to kind of be in the dark and really think about things. I believe that this next chapter of your love life is about trying to define how you want the connection to move forward, what you're willing to compromise. I'm hearing sacrifice with the Queen of Stars reversed here. What are you willing to sacrifice? And what do you need to hold on to? What is like your bare minimum expectation in this situation? It does seem like you're trying to bring the spark back into a connection, and it also feels like you're trying to elevate the connection at the same time. So while we're trying to hold on to a youthful passion and an attraction, a chemistry between us, we're also trying to acknowledge that in order for this connection to be long term, we can't do this forever. We have to evolve the chemistry into something more consistent. I think that something could have happened in one of your lives where your relationship is now being tested. One of you may be currently seeking their purpose and maybe making plans to do something new. And it's making you both question where your connection stands and how are these changes, these plans, these ideas going to impact your connection moving forward. So I do think with the Knight of Stars reversed, there has been a huge transformation here over how you want and can. So even if you wanted to, like this, it's like your arm is twisted. There's been a huge change in how you can contribute efforts towards this connection moving forward. I'm just going to have a quick sip of my coffee and I'm going to pull out more cards. I want to pull the Destiny Oracle cards out next. Spirit, what is the theme in my Group 1's couples love life in this next chapter? What are the themes? Okay. They got a lot of cards, but I just need one. Thank you, Spirit. We have risk. And at the back of the deck, we have acceptance. Interesting. Spirit, what is my viewer's energy in their love life during this next chapter? What is my viewer's energy in their love life in this next chapter? Okay, so the card I have for you is the Gazebo. And this is the Green Glyphs Oracle deck. What is their partner's energy? What is my Group 1's person's energy? We have Drain reversed. And at the back of this deck is Inkwell. Spirit, what advice would you have for my viewer during this next chapter of their love life? What advice do you have for my viewer during this next chapter of their love life? We have the 12th house reversed. And what advice do you have for their partner, for their person? In Group 1s, we have Full Moon. I'm hearing realization with that card, so let's remember that, realization. Let me just adjust the camera. At the back of the deck, we have Aquarius. I'm going to make sure that we can actually see everything. All right, that's a lot better. Is it a little bit wonky? It is a little bit wonky. It's so ironic that I'm doing a terrible British accent because I'm probably going to be in the UK at the time that you see this. So we got a lot to unpack here. Sorry to just change the subject. We're switching. Here are your themes in your love life, and this does help us understand more. It helps paint a broader picture of what you can expect. And I think with risk here, there is definitely something that you both have to weigh up in this connection. And the risk seems to be measuring a sense of purpose with the foundation that you've already created with each other. I almost feel like one of you has been called to do something that could create more distance between the two of you. With the Page of Wands reversed, it could feel like the two of you have to really make an effort in order to keep that spark alive, because you're both putting a lot more energy into other interests. It may feel like you and this person are no longer wanting the same things because they're feeding energy into interests that don't interest you. But I can see here with acceptance being your bottom deck energy, that the foundation that you have in this connection is enough to make you want to risk the next chapter. Because you do want this person to feel fulfilled. You want them to feel their sense of purpose and their spark. So you're trying to kind of loosen the reins here. You're trying to measure your expectations evenly. And you're also trying with the acceptance card to just let this person do what they need to do for themselves, accepting that they will make the right choices with your connection in mind. I definitely see a lot of compromise here and sacrifice, because I don't think this is compromise. I think one of you is coming through as the feminine energy, is actually sacrificing a lot. And while the sacrifice is on both sides, I do think that you feel maybe cheated or like this wasn't what you originally signed up for, with the Queen of Stars reversed. So when we have a look at your energy specifically, we're given this Gazebo card. And the gazebo is a reminder of wonderful times and being out in the sun and It could feel like you guys are really, in this next chapter, holding on to the memories that you have with this person and reminiscing on all those good times. The gazebo makes me think of summer and spring. Where I live, it's pretty much hot all year round. Today was the coldest day and it was 13 degrees Celsius overnight. So, and then during the day it's going to be 25 degrees Celsius. So we have gazebos all year round, but I know that a lot of other people aren't as fortunate, and this is more of like a summer and spring thing, being able to go to parks and sit out in the nice weather and all of that jazz. Gazebos also make me think of outdoor movies. That could be a very specific reference. Some of y'all have been to an outdoor cinema or an outdoor theater. I was going to say outdoor music, like live performances when they set up little bands or performances in those gazebos. That's something they used to do when I was growing up anyway. I don't know if other people do that or other places. But I'm just getting a lot of joyful moments here, a lot of beautiful energy here. I think that in this next chapter of your love life, you guys are really holding this relationship down. You're holding this person down and you're saying, I've got you. Whatever you need to do for you, do it. I've got you. There is a genuine energy here of support from your end. Now, the gazebo, according to the guidebook, has themes of celebration, the present, happiness, and summer nights. It says, an empty gazebo tucked away in a thicket of trees at the edge of a great lawn draws you in. Memories of celebration and happiness flood your being. Let them fill the space you are in. All that is important now is the present. I do feel like you're making the most out of the time that you have with each other. You're trying not to be too anxious about what the future has in store with this 9 of crystals reversed. You're just focusing on what's in front of you and you're enjoying the moments that you have together. You and this person may be in an unusual arrangement where you don't always have access to each other. With these 2 pentacles reversed, there could be practical reasons as to why you can't be together. One of you may work away, or you may have to live in separate households. You may have different routines, or there has been a recent change in your routine, your work schedule. So it's just hard for you two to see each other. So I see you trying to make the most out of what you have. When we look at your partner's energy, we have the drain reversed. Now, intuitively, I know that this is about letting go. And it's about releasing toxic energy. In this deck, it talks about toxic sludge, like letting it out. Now, with this being reversed, I feel like your person is going through something. They don't feel satisfied, they don't feel happy, but they don't know how to properly recalibrate. So it could feel like they're doing things that are maybe a little bit overboard or extreme as they try to purge energy that they don't want. They seem to be trying to heal and process and just release. But with that energy being reversed, I feel like they don't mean for it to be a negative impact, or they don't mean for it to have a negative impact on your coupling. It's just so happening to impact the 2 of you because you are a couple. I think that whatever they're going through is very much outside of this connection, but it's impacting the connection. And this drain energy makes me think they don't want to release you, but they have some stuff that they've got to work through. They have some stuff under the surface within them that they need to sift through. What do I let go of? What do I process? What do I purge? In the guidebook, the drain's energy, when reversed, is about irritability, withholding emotions, clogged energy, and toxic relationships. A drain spews lukewarm water out of a rusted metal grate. Your eyes glaze over as you fixate on the rushing sewerage. It's mesmerizing, all that stuff spilling out like the cork was just plucked from a plugged hole. Ooh, that's a lot. A release is long overdue, so now is the time to let it out. So the thing is, I don't think this person is being completely honest with you, and that's why their advice is the full moon. I do feel like there's more going on for your person than what they're opening up to you about. Spirit, what is this person holding on to? with this drain energy. What are they holding on to? Okay, oh, we've got a lot of cards. I'm just going to take this one first. We have the Knight of Wands reverse. They may be holding on to a lifestyle. Maybe this person promised you that they were going to make some changes, but they actually feel like they're missing out on something. I'm hearing FOMO. There's part of this person that feels like they need to be young again, and they may be holding on to a younger version of themselves. They feel like they're missing out on something, especially if their friends or a sibling has recently done something really exciting, adventurous. It's like they want to get back out there. They want to see the world. They want to... They're feeling restless. They're holding on to, I want to say, unrealistic expectations because the Knight of Wands is reversed. This person is just seeking a sense of purpose, and there is envy here and jealousy over what somebody else is doing around them. They feel like they are missing out on something. Spirit, what are they holding on to? What is this person holding on to? We have the High Priestess reversed, so you guys should know. It's going to be very specific to your situation. It's not a secret. The High Priestess reversed is saying it's going to be a unique thing to each of you, but it will not be a secret. It's something that your intuition has told you about, and it could even be something that you already know because it's been brought up before. Why are they withholding these emotions, Spirit? Why is this person withholding these emotions? The Sun reversed. They're trying to protect you and their relationship with you, but they're also trying to stop themselves from seeing how much this is affecting them, because it is impacting their mental health, their well-being, but they don't want to actualize that, right? They don't want to delve into that and fully understand that. Queen of Cups, they have a lot of love for you, sweets. They do. They are trying to protect you too, especially the Queen of Cups in this deck. I know that this is more of a symbol of like the third eye, but it also just makes me think of protection, that palm of protection. I feel like this person is withholding the emotion because they don't want to burden you. How is this going to affect their connection though, Spirit? The Fool card reversed. You're going to feel it. It's going to feel like the two of you have baggage. Like they're definitely holding back. You're going to feel like this person is holding back. The World card. It's going to feel like they're waiting for something and you don't know what it is. The World card reversed also feels like unresolved business, an unclosed chapter, like an unfinished chapter, and it's like it just hasn't fully... It's going to feel like this person is stuck in their past. Instead of looking towards their future, you'll feel like your person is stuck in their past, like their glory days. But they do love you. They just I think they miss that younger version of themselves, or that more carefree, spontaneous version of themselves. Is there anything else they need to know about this offering energy, Spirit? What is this offering energy about? We have Judgment. I think this could even be an ultimatum. I don't usually get that, but the offering could be an ultimatum because it is a realization. And it's like a rude awakening. The fact that we've got it twice now in both tarot decks tells me that you and this person are going to, like, the next chapter of your connection is about a rude awakening. And it could feel like an ultimatum of needing to really lay down the law and go, this is what I want and this is what I expect. Because, I mean, at this stage, it just feels like things aren't really able to progress forward the way that you're hoping. And I do think with the Judgment card being here, we have to either resurrect the connection or put an end to feeling like this, because it just can't continue forward. Regardless of what the change is, change has to happen. And so I think that's why we have this advice down here, because in the next chapter of your love life in this relationship, you guys want answers. That's why we have that 9 of crystals reversed. We're not feeling as secure as we want to be, but we do have a strong sense of attachment to this person. They have a lot of love for us, but we're just feeling like the actions don't match the intentions. We want to know where we're going, and we want to know why our person feels like they've lost their spark. So we're seeking answers, and this happiness, this sunshine that's really radiating optimism and hope and positivity about the future, where this person is still attached to a past version of themselves. They've got so much baggage internally that they can't even think about a hopeful future. When they think about the future, they get anxious about things getting worse, not better. And so there is a risk here. The risk is that you both have to realize that change is needed, which could result in an ultimatum. I feel that ultimatum would come from you, my viewer, because you need to make changes in order to embrace both your happinesses individually and as a couple. Changes have to happen. This person thinks that by opening up, by releasing their emotions and by actually acknowledging how they feel, they're going to make things worse. They think that if they don't address it, if they don't talk about it, if they don't bring it up, it's just going to go away, or it's not going to be a big deal. But your advice with this person, 12th house reversed, 12th house upright is all about endings. The fact that it's reversed, I really feel like Spirit and your spiritual team are saying, don't call it quits too quickly. There is something about this connection that is worth waiting for, working on. And I think that it is going to take empathy, because there could be some mood disorders going on here with the 12th house involved. And there's a lot to navigate, and it's going to take a level of empathy, support, and compassion. That is why I feel it's important that you selected this group, because you're in a couple. If you were just meeting this person, that's a lot to take on board. But I think that with the foundation that you already have, your advice is to give this person enough support to show them that you care and you want them to feel better. And I do think that it is worth being a bit more patient with the situation and with their energy, because their advice is to release their emotions. Their advice is to confront how they feel. This full moon energy is all about being able to observe the clarity that you have, the feelings that you have, and potentially giving yourself the opportunity to release those feelings, to express them. Not just acknowledge them, but to actually express them. In this deck, the full moon card is literally clarity, and it indicates that you've reached full illumination with this phase. Everything you've been working towards reaches the climax. This is where you realize that the journey is only half over. What goes up must come down. The positive cannot survive without the negative. That is just a fact of life. The plant you grew will soon begin its decay and subsequent death, and this is okay. This is all part of its purpose. Seeing and acknowledging our faults is the best thing we can do for our development. While it can hurt when we see our shortcomings, acknowledging them takes away their power. I think that your person may be very hard on themselves, and their advice is to see themselves as a natural human being. I think that they're going through a cycle here, and they are in a little bit of a funk. And their advice is to see it as a cycle. It will end. It will pass. The strong feelings that they have will pass because what goes up must come down. What goes down must go up. They just have to see it as part of a natural cycle, and they have to stop seeing themselves as like, well, something's wrong. I think they do need more outlets, and they may even need to talk to somebody. It's not to say that you're not doing enough, but I think that their love for you is an obstacle in them being able to open up to you. They need an unbiased, objective person whose only tie to the situation is that they will listen to whatever your partner needs to say. So I do think that a professional would help, or a family friend, somebody else, just to kind of let this person air things out, because I think that they've got a lot stewing. And if they actually talk about these things, then they'll realize how they actually feel. They may have some really dark thoughts about whether they need to make some huge changes to their lifestyle. But once they actually say these things out loud, they'll realize, I don't want that. I was just feeling a lot, and the overwhelm had me seeking a desperate solution. I didn't realize that this would just be a temporary thing. So I really think that this person needs to link in. They need to gain more supports. And let's just clarify if there's anything that I've missed with your advice now. In this deck, the 12th house is known as the realm of undoing. Keep in mind it is reversed. So this card specifically says, asking for help is often the hardest step. Allow yourself to work through trauma and mental health struggles, as this is the best gift you will ever give yourself. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. And I think that this person's energy is going to make you overanalyze yourself and go, what's wrong with me? Why am I not enough? Because you have love for each other. So it's natural that between the two of you, you're going to feel like, well, why is this just not enough? The card says if someone close to you is going through a hard time and you aren't sure how to help them, just ask. Sometimes a quick how are you or what can I do is help. What can I do to help is exactly what they need to hear. Do your best to not be judgmental or suggest ways they can improve their situation unless you know they want the input. The key words behind this card are karma, private, secrets, hideaway, crisis, depression, and illusion. To be fair, my sweet souls, that card is reversed. I think that you will do an amazing job of loving and supporting this person. I think you also need an outlet. You need to also be able to separate yourself from whatever this person is going through, because as much as you love, it's not your responsibility. And there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with the relationship. I just think this is a classic example of how your individual well-being is paramount. When trying to build connections with other people, we have to take that responsibility on board, because it does impact the love that we have for other people. And even though they're trying to deal with themselves to help you, it's making you feel like they're pushing you away. So your advice for both of you is to link in, get support, stay connected to each other, ask those questions. But when you feel like there's nothing you can do for each other, say, I love you so much. I want you to feel like you have somebody to talk to always. I think it's time to start talking to a professional. And if that's too crass, or whatever the word is, then say, have you thought about talking to your best friend? Have you thought about talking to your mum? Have you thought about talking to the school? Why did I say school? Wow, interesting. I was going to say school guidance counselor. So that's very bizarre. Have you thought about talking to, a counselor, one of those free help services, that chatbots, anything, whatever suits the situation. So that's what I'm seeing for you, sweet souls. The advice is very practical compared to what I've been giving, so I hope that that's helpful for you. I'm going to jump into your extended reading now, and we'll end this YouTube reading. So just to clarify, in your extended reading as a couple, we are going to have a look at what you need to know about your relationship. And we're really going to, for you guys, delve into the changes, the shifts, getting more advice about the long term, with this idea of you, my viewer, securing your best possible outcome. It's clear that you and this person have a bond, so I am going to be respectful of that, but I do want to give you that unbiased filter of what is in your best interest moving forward. So if that sounds interesting, and especially if the first part of your reading resonated, the link to your extended reading is in the description box and the pinned comment. Accessing those extended reading links will gain you access to a lot of different videos that I've been posting for the last 4 years. So please make sure that you click on the right video. Remember, you are group 1 of the couples. There will be a group 1 for the singles as well. So triple check that you've clicked on group 1 for the couples of the What is Next in Love reading that I posted in June 2024. And thank you so much for all of your time, energy, and support right here on YouTube. Sweet souls, if this is where we're parting ways, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. If I'm going to see you in the extended reading, I'll see you very soon. But until the next time we cross paths, bye. Hi, my group 2 couples, and welcome. If you chose the shadow card or this amethyst crystal right here, then this is going to be your reading. We're asking Spirit, what is next in love? And you're my group number 2s from my couples portion of this reading. Now, right here on YouTube, I'm going to be asking a lot of questions about what is next in love for you, and we're going to tailor it around your connection, having a look at how your connection will be evolving in this next chapter, or what the main themes are in this next chapter. And we're also going to have a look at how this is going to be impacting you and your personal journey of love. There will be an extended reading as well. The extended reading is essentially about looking at long-term advice. For my couples, I'm focusing on the topic, what do you need to know about your connection, your relationship? And we're going to get advice from your higher self. We're going to get clarity about your person's thoughts about the future, what their feelings are for you, and what their focus will be in this next chapter in your love life. So with all of that in mind, to get to that extended reading, we do have to start right here. So let's get into it. I'm going to put your crystal up there. Oh my gosh, we have a lot of energy coming in already. Now, you guys would have seen me shuffle this card on camera if you were watching from the intro, but I essentially was asking Spirit about what is next in love for you as a couple. And this is your first indicator. This card is the theme that you can expect to experience in love next. And with it being the shadow, we have the number 28. I honestly feel a lot of a heavy energy here, but I do think that as a couple, this heavier energy is about addressing insecurities, fears, and potentially even issues that you may have held onto from previous experiences that are impacting your connection currently. So the next chapter of your love life is ultimately about you being able to identify your shadows, your fears, your insecurities, your issues, your concerns from previous experiences, so that you don't let them stand in the way of experiencing your happiness in the present. I do want to shuffle some cards out now just to get more clarity, because I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I did choose the amethyst crystal for a reason, group 2. I think you guys are going to be needing some helpful protection in this next chapter of your love life, so that you're able to soothe your anxiousness and get to a calmed state of self-awareness. The shadow is about self. The more that we project our shadows onto others, we delay the opportunity to get to know ourselves better. And often that's how we identify our shadows. That's the irony. we subconsciously project them onto other people. We may notice these things in other people before we see it in ourselves. So I do want to have a look at how this is impacting your relationship. Spirit, please tune me into my group two's energies. What is happening next in their love life? What is happening next in group two's love life? We have the Three of Pentacles reversed. What is happening next for my group twos in couples? We have the Tower card upright. My light is probably going to go out soon. I'm using daylight, so I will be using artificial lighting once the sun sets. We'll just see how we go. Group two, please, Spirit. What is next in love for my group two couples, those that chose this shadow energy? We also have the Seven of Pentacles. And at the back of the deck is the Ace of Swords. Yeah, there's that opportunity. The opportunity to communicate, to discuss the ideas and the information that you have. It is about turning a new page as well. We're not claiming to be good at this, right? This could feel very uncomfortable, but we need to do this for the sake of moving the connection forward. I think that for some of you, this could be a very defining moment of your connection. You may not resonate as being in a relationship yet. It could just feel like you and this person are trying to figure out how to take your connection to a higher space. So I think that this next stage is about eliminating third-party energies and really making that effort to take the connection to the next level. That's what it feels like so far, but I do need to pull out more cards. Spirit, what can you tell us about the main themes in this next chapter in love for my group twos? We have surrender showing up as a blockage, and at the back of the deck is perseverance. Okay, let's have a look at what your energy is going to be in this chapter. What will my viewers' energy be, Spirit, in this next chapter? What will my viewers' energy be? What will my viewers' energy be, Spirit? Okay, they want me to take the tincture card for you, and this is the Green Glyphs Oracle deck I got from Tarot Stack. That was the Spirit Speaks Tarot. This is the Wild Unknown Archetypes Oracle deck, and this is the Destiny Cards Oracle. Spirit, what is the energy of their partner or their primary love interest? We have the Chair. So your person's energy will be the Chair. At the back of this deck, they are showing me the Pig. I think I need to keep this in frame, so I'm going to put it over there. So that's the bottom deck energy of the connection. What is the advice, Spirit, for my viewer? What is the advice for my viewer? The advice for my viewer is the 11th house reversed. What advice do you have for their person? What advice do you have for my viewer's person, Spirit? Wow. We have Chiron. Okay. Chiron is their advice. And at the back of this deck, we have Gemini. So you really do. Your advice is all about communication. Let me just see if I can get some light going. That's going to have to do for now. Is that better or worse? Oh, I always think that it's a weird in-between. It's not really better. I'm going to keep talking like this for now, and then I'll turn the lights on. So here's the thing, sweet souls. This next chapter in love is about addressing the things that you're struggling to let go of. It is going to be a make or break moment in this relationship. And I don't know if all of you are actually wanting to continue forward. And there is enough history between the two of you to where you want to grow something out of this. But you both have to want it, and you both have to want to put in the work. The main themes here are about issues that you just can't let go of with surrender reverse. There's issues that you're struggling to let go of. And with perseverance here, in order for this connection to really be successful, you both have to contribute effort. Not just energy, not just time, but effort, quality, energy. Now, I can see that overall, there's an energy in this connection of imbalance. The pig upright can be very greedy, gluttonous. When it's reversed, it is a strong feeling of being able to let go a little bit more. And I think that there's an element of this connection that is very controlling. I do think with the pig reversed, either someone is too detached to where they just don't really care too much about what's going to happen. They want to go with the flow. They just want to leave it all up in the air. And the other person is feeling like maybe they need to really rein it in and define things and figure things out and control the situation. So it's like one extreme or the other. There's no in between with that pig reversed. It's either we don't really want to, address anything. We just want to leave it all out in the air, up in the air, open. And the other extreme is that we're really trying to micromanage the situation, control everything, regulate everything, understand everything, analyze everything. So I think that the overall energy with tarot is talking about a sudden, unexpected change that is going to happen because it needs to. The Tower can only create change that has already fractured. Like, these things are already issues. These things are already concerns, blockages, things that need to be brought to the surface and realizations that need to happen. So the Tower is referencing an upheaval of energy, a shift here that is inevitable, because it's also talking about this having to come about so that we don't just reset back into old habits, old ways. And I think that ultimately this is going to change for the better. But I also think that when the Tower hits, it's uncomfortable for the ego. It's a sudden lightning bolt of clarity. And because it happens so fast, so dramatically, it can be a lot to process. And sometimes our ego just isn't ready. So I can feel resistance. And that's why I think we have this Three of Pentacles reversed. The Three of Pentacles upright in a relationship reading can be considered as expansion through collaboration and effort. Now, with it being reversed, I think that there are concerns here about effort, but there's also concerns about what we contribute our time and energy and resources towards. I don't think you and this person are on the same page when it comes to how you are investing your resources, which are specifically time and money, and how that relates to your future. There seems to be a difference here in what you're expecting to invest versus what they're expecting to invest, and how that kind of ties together. So in terms of a shared outcome, it doesn't seem to be mutual. You either are both wanting different things, or there is just this feeling as though you're building different things. You're growing apart. And it could even feel like work is coming between you. It could feel like family is coming between you, friends are coming between you. Because these are things that we do value. That's why we put time and energy into them. But they don't value the other person. So I think with the Seven of Pentacles being here, there is an element of needing to be patient and needing to see effort in order to feel like we can generate the results. I feel like there has to be a lot of evidence here that things are going to improve with the Seven of Pentacles. And I think that a big part of this next chapter in your connection is going to be about testing and just seeing if the words or the intentions align with the physical actions. It's not because we think this person's going to lie or we're going to lie, but we genuinely, don't believe everything that's happening in this situation. I feel like this is the main reason why your energy is showing up as tincture reversed, my viewer. And this energy reversed is like a love feeling, like a closeness, a crush, an infatuation gone sour. You guys don't have the same feelings that you used to for this person. In this next chapter, your heart seems to be fractured, in that it's struggling to feel confident, stable, and secure. And your person's energy is this empty chair. They honestly feel like they've tried their hardest. They don't know what else they can do. And they're at a bit of a loss on where to from here. So I see that overall, there will probably be some sort of new idea or communication implemented to try to figure this out. And that's why we had Gemini at the back of your advice deck as well. I'm going to turn those lights on soon because it's getting way too dark. Because Gemini was encouraging communication, back and forth communication, not just one long text or one big yarn, but back and forth frequent communication to be able to share ideas and troubleshoot these problems. Let me turn some lights on, I'll be back. Okay, so I've got my artificial lighting on. There are a few shadows, but we'll just make it work. So as I was saying, I really think that overall, this next chapter is going to make or break the connection. So let's have a look at the energies that you are each bringing into this dynamic. I'm going to use the guidebook to clarify tincture, just to see if there is anything that I've missed there. Oops, there we go. Tincture, when it's reversed, possesses the themes of lost love, feeling sick, allergies, and last hope. A tincture can hold anything your heart desires, medicine to heal your wounds or poison for bad thoughts. The question is, do you drink from the bottle or do you leave life unaltered? There is an energy here of like things need to improve. On your end, you're not feeling well and you want a solution, but you're realizing that what you do is not enough. You guys are really in this. You're willing to give it a shot and you're trying hard, but you know that what you do alone is not enough. You need your partner's support. Speaking of your partner, let's have a look at the chair energy. When upright, the chair's energy can possess themes of perspective, stability, craftsmanship, and reimagining space. This chair looks a bit small, but maybe it's just your perspective. Surely if you were underneath the chair, it would look larger. At 1,000 feet above, you wouldn't see the chair at all. The chair teaches a lesson in perspective and reimagining your space. While it may be too small to sit in now, you once fit quite contently. There is an energy here of this person not really seeing everything clearly. I feel like something's going to really blindside them. Like, it almost feels like this person in the next chapter is getting a different perspective. I still see a desire for stability, and I still see a desire for them to work on things here. They are trying to imagine a different outcome, a different reality for the better. But it's like this connection may go through such a big shift. Let's clarify what that tower is. It goes through such a big shift that it's hard for them to imagine what's going to happen, you know? Like, they just don't seem to be able to process how things are changing. Spirit, what is this tower moment about? What is this sudden, unexpected change? Because it really creates a feeling of instability within you, my viewer. What is this sudden, unexpected change, Spirit? I feel like we're going to get multiple examples, the Two of Cups reversed, just because we're doing a general reading and we only have 3 groups this time, there might be multiple. But essentially, the Tower is a realization of you two not being on the same page about something pretty significant. There's something that you really want that the other person doesn't. And you've just unmasked that. This is a very sudden realization of like, wow, like this is actually a very big deal to me. How can you not want the same thing? I'm seeing that somebody is not ready to give up a certain lifestyle. They want to feel like they still have spontaneity and freedom. They don't want to feel trapped. Whereas the other person sees this as a sign of growth and progress, and they don't want to feel like they're missing out. You both are struggling to decide what this means for yourself as well as the connection. And there seems to be fears here about getting trapped in this connection if you choose to sacrifice your wants and needs. Spirit, what does my viewer want? What does my viewer want? 10 of Pentacles reversed. You want 5 of Wands reversed, 10 of Cups upright. You want emotional security in this connection, but you still want flexibility when it comes to the concrete stuff. So you value the emotional connection, but there is still an attachment towards your physical independence that you value. You guys are maybe still creating a feeling of security for self. And you don't want this connection to come between you and your financial success or your material success or your self-love journey. There is a strong feeling here of this Virgo path, and you've put in so much time and effort into being the person that you are today. You want a relationship to emotionally fulfill you, but you don't want it to take away from what you've created for yourself and for what you're planning to continue creating for yourself. So you guys with the 5 of Wands reversed, you want a connection that appreciates this without conflict, without jealousy, without envy. You want a partner who is secure enough to be able to understand this and respect that you have these goals for yourself and these values for yourself, and that you hold yourself to the standard. I'm hearing the standard of cleanliness, so there could be something about that too, being very particular about something. You guys have an element of control over your domain that you are expecting your partner to understand. What do they want, Spirit? What does their person want? Their energy is the Chair. They're showing up as someone that wants the 8 of Cups reversed. They want the Tower reversed. They want the Ace of Pentacles upright and the 8 of Pentacles upright. So emotionally, they want more from this connection. They don't want to leave this connection. They want more from you. They want to understand what 10 of Cups actually means. This person may have not fallen in love before, or they just don't know really how to take things to that deeper level of emotional intimacy in the way that you're expecting. You guys know what that means. You feel it, you emanate it, you offer it to other people, because the 10 of Cups is not just romantic. It's this strong bond, and you have that strong bond with other people in your life. This person doesn't have that, or they don't understand how to give you that, but they want to. They want to understand. They're willing to change. They're willing to move with these unexpected changes because they do want something more serious. But I think that when they do move, they may move more traditionally, where you are valuing your sense of self. This person is seeing the two of you in a equal energy. With this 8 of Pentacles, they may be wanting to try to catch up to you. There's a lot of Virgo energy here. And it may be true that the two of you compare yourselves to each other and that you do feel an energy of competition, whether you do or not, like you could see it within them, and whether they do or not, they see it within you. But there is an energy of competitiveness here and trying to keep up with the other person in the connection. With the Eight of Pentacles being here, this person does want to build themselves up. They want to build the connection, but when it comes to financial success, they probably just do what makes them feel happy. Whereas you come across as someone that needs the results as well. This person makes probably enough money because it makes them happy. And I think that there is a question around whether that is enough for you moving forward. That could be an issue here. I definitely feel like you're each carrying insecurities that you are projecting. I don't know if you've been completely open and honest about the blockages that you feel on your own sides of this story or this connection. I don't know if you've been completely clear about what it would take for the two of you to feel more secure. You do feel like you're on different wavelengths. You're on different pages in the same book, though. You're both kind of in this, but you're not showing up enough, because I can see this person's ego feeling quite shattered around expectations. And because of all this Virgo energy, I can't help but feel like those expectations were set by self. Like, I don't think that you have fully communicated, but there is an energy of control here and trying to be in control. I just feel like you guys are trying too hard to make everything perfect, and Spirit's saying, this is messy. It's not really a situation that can be perfect. Life is messy, but this connection and all the nuances that you each individually bring into this connection make it very messy. So in this next chapter, you have the opportunity to explore that mess and to really understand that mess individually. This person comes through as very energetically, I want to say demanding, not because they're like an energy vampire or anything, but because they want results. And they want to come across as confident. So they have this like desire to push through. This Mars energy is so strong, and it's them. Your energy is influenced by Mars, but it also has this Virgo Venusian impact where it's a little more passive, a little more put together, a little more clear, a little more direct, patient. Your person comes across as messy and loud and determined, but they don't have it all bundled up in like a neat package like you do. That doesn't mean they want it any less. It's just like, I really feel like they don't know how to make it neat like you. They don't know how to get it all together like you. But they do want that. The way that they talk about it is very different to you, though. You want that emotional longevity. They want this because it would be a new experience and a new opportunity to try to create the future that they've wanted. And they're not looking at it from an emotional space because they don't really understand that in the way that you do. They're looking at it as, well, a relationship moving forward requires work. It requires integrity, commitment. It requires a level of loyalty. And they feel ready for all of that. But your energy feels like, well, you're still missing the point. Like, I don't necessarily care. Like, this is just an example. I'm not saying that this is your circumstance, but it almost feels like you're saying, I don't care if we live in the same house together. I just want us to be each other's people. And they're like, okay, so you want commitment. And you're like, well, yes, but no. Like, what does commitment mean to you? And they're like, well, you know, commitment, like we live together. And you're like, no, it's not what it means to me. Commitment is about the emotional bond that you have with that person because you deeply value, respect, and care for that person, and you understand and accept them for who they are, and they're like, oh, wow, what is that like? I've never had that. That sounds lovely. What is that like? How can you show me how to do that? And so you guys just aren't fully on the same page, but that doesn't mean that you can't work it out. Let's have a look at your advice now. Your advice down here is the 11th house reverse. This is for you, my viewer. They got Chiron upright. Now with the 11th house reversed, I do feel like your advice is about trying to make things work before you think about, because I'm not going to lie, like I think that some of you are 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So I think this 11th house is about trying to reimagine a future together. I can't help but feel this rebellious energy, surprises, reinvention. The connection may be moving into a space of liberation and freedom, but not as you initially expected. You guys will have to consider what you need to do in order to help the other person feel like they know what they're in, because this person doesn't understand fully the ideas that you have about the future of this connection. So I almost think with the 11th house reverse, Spirit's saying when it comes to this connection, a lot of time needs to be put into explaining where you're coming from so that the other person can fully understand your perspective, can fully understand what they're committing themselves to, and moving forward, you both understand what the expectations are. This card in the guidebook is all about the realm of friendship. First and foremost, it's a social house, and it is about the energy of friendship, according to the guidebook. Keywords behind this card are rebellion, social, friendship, invention, and potential. Now, with that card reversed, Spirit is highlighting that you two may have unconventional dreams and differing ideas of what the future looks like. There's an energy here of thinking outside the box and taking things too quickly. You may need to slow things down or re-examine whether you can have that type of future with this type of person. There is a specific passage in this book that I really want to read out to you because I think it will resonate. Figuring out your place in the world can be a scary thing, but it should also be fun. There is so much to discover out there. Treat every person you meet like a potential friend, and you may be surprised by what you discover. The 11th house is where the greatest ideas are born, as long as you don't let society impose its narrow viewpoint on your creative process. So you guys just come across as being a little unconventional. And I do think you need to figure out whether there is enough of a kindred energy and mutual understanding to be able to have the type of future that you want with this type of person. And I also think with the 11th house being here reversed, you guys also need to think about whether you're moving too quickly, considering what the connection is going through. This person is going through it, man. Their advice is about healing. Their advice is about addressing their shadows. They seem to be the ones who are struggling to trust the process and who are struggling to understand how all of this is going to tie together. So with Chiron showing up as advice for them, they're being called to observe themselves as somebody who needs a little bit extra attention. Their fears, their concerns, the things that feel like uncomfortable to them need to be addressed, and they need attention. Not because there's anything wrong with this person, but because they have these things serving as blockages and challenges standing between them and this connection. This person may not be fully ready for what you want with them, and they need to be the ones to understand that and to really get to the bottom of that so that they can communicate that with you if that is their truth. But for Chiron to be here, There is a strong energy of this person needing to work through uncomfortable feelings and previously unresolved issues from their past. Let's see if I'm missing anything and if the guidebook can add any other helpful information. Chiron. So obviously in this deck, Chiron is the healer. I'm only saying obviously because I have pulled it multiple times in other readings, so some of y'all have seen it in other groups. But the key words behind this card are wounds, healing, knowledge, gift, silver linings, hope, despair, and sadness. In a reading, Chiron appears when we have that nagging feeling of self-doubt we just can't shake. You already have all the tools you need to solve your problem. You just have to do some deep reflection to find them. Try as we may, even the most evolved of people carry their trauma with them everywhere they go. How they use this trauma is what is important. Are you lashing out at those around you, or are you focusing your emotions on something productive to better your life and the community? Well, okay. Community, what is that about? We did get the 3 of Pentacles, so this person's actions may also be affecting your loved ones, family members, friends, siblings. This asteroid carries with it a delicate balance between inward focus and outward focus. Inward meaning tending to yourself, outward meaning tending to others. Swaying too far in one direction can make us overindulgent and selfish. I feel like this person may have been using this connection as a distraction, and now that things are getting serious, there's a whole bunch of stuff they have to address and clear out. Now, I think that you both have really good intentions, and I think that the advice is to really give this a go, to better understand each other, to get under each other's skin, in the sense of you're picking each other's brains. Have these conversations, right? Talk about things, and then make a balanced decision about whether you can both work towards the future that you want together. Do you both even want the same future? So that's what I'm seeing for you, my group 2s, those who chose Shadow and Amethyst. I'm going to take this into the extended reading now, where we will focus on the long-term energy of this connection. I want to have a look at the potential of this connection. Does this connection have long-term potential in terms of from this point on? Does it have long-term potential? And what does Spirit want you to know about this relationship? The energy behind this is to focus on your best interest, but I will be pulling advice from your higher self, looking at the connection. What is the advice for your best interest of this connection moving forward? How can you handle this connection moving forward? What advice do you need? And then we're also going to ask for advice about your love life in general, the feelings that you may be experiencing for better or for worse, and your advice on how to handle this next chapter of your love life. And if there's anything else we need to clear up that comes up during your reading, we will talk about that as well. But that is the essential bones of what your extended reading will be for my couples. If you would like to join me in your extended reading, especially if the first part of your reading resonated and you want those additional messages, or you're looking to also support me and what I do here, the link to your extended reading is in the description box, as well as the pinned comment down below. Click on that link to gain access to a page filled with hundreds of extended readings. Because this page has hundreds of extended readings, group 2, it's really important that you make sure you click on the right group before you purchase your reading. There will be 2 group 2s for this What is Next in Love reading. You are the couples group 2. Check the thumbnail, check the description box, check the title before you check out and pay anything. So you should be doing 3 checks. Triple check before you pay anything that you have selected the right group in your extended reading. You are group 2 of the couples What is Next in Love reading that I posted in June 2024. Thank you so much for all of your time, sweet souls, right here on YouTube. I appreciate your energy, your support, and your time. If this is where we are parting ways, I wish you peace, love, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Until our paths cross again, bye. couples, if you chose the seed card or this howlite crystal, then this is going to be your reading. Welcome, sweet souls. I'm going to move the last group's crystal out of the way, and we're going to make way for your energy. Spirit, please tune me into my group 3 couples, those that chose this crystal or this card. Help me to offer them the most clear, honest messages about their reading today. Sweet souls, I've been doing a lot of talking, so I'm just going to be talking a lot more softer to reserve my voice and to make sure that I have the energy needed for your juicy reading. We're asking Spirit right here on YouTube, what is next in love for you? You chose this group because you are in a relationship or a couple and you want more clarity about the next chapter of this connection and what that means for your journey in love. If you've accidentally choose the wrong group and you feel like you're more of a single, now is your chance to go back and select the right group. If this is your right group, I'm very excited to see what comes through for you right here on YouTube. I do have a lot to cover, a lot to get through, and it's going to be pretty interesting. I've had a lot of fun doing this, but the best part about this is there will be an extended reading for each of the groups, including yours. So in your extended reading, real quick, we're focusing more on the long term, having a look at what you need to know about your relationship, getting advice from your higher self and from Spirit about how you can make the most, how you can get the best possible outcome out of this connection, out of your love life. And is there anything else that you need to know in order to attain that best possible outcome? The extended reading will also get more clarity on how your person is thinking, feeling, and focused on in the next chapter. So I'm going to put this piece of paper to the side now that I've said that little spiel, and let's get into right here on YouTube, what is next in love for you. So group 3, I can see with the seed card that the next chapter of your love life could be about setting some sort of intention, putting in some sort of foundation, and potentially growing a new opportunity. It seems that this partnership is evaluating whether or not to take a new leap and to consider building upon a foundation that has been created to decide whether we take things further. Now, the number on this card is the number 66, which makes me think that you and this person have a beautiful history of harmony, synergy. You probably are in a fairly balanced way, and the next chapter is about strengthening that harmony, that synergy. And I do think that you and this person are relatively on the same page with a lot of things, but I do want to have a better look at how this energy translates into that overall question, what is next in love for you? So I'm going to pull some more cards out for you. Spirit, tune me into group 3's energy. What is next in love for my group 3s? What is next in love for my group 3s? Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles coming out reversed. We have the the King of Pentacles coming out upright. What is next in love for my group 3 couples? We have Temperance reversed. What is next for my group 3 couples, Spirit? They also want me to take the Empress. And we do have the 3 of Pentacles at the back of this deck. Spirit, what are the main themes in this next chapter of their love life? What are the main themes? We have risk. To be fair, this came out in a lot of groups. And we have authenticity. Okay. The back of this deck is clarity. Interesting. Spirit, what is the energy of my viewer in this next chapter? What is the energy of my viewer? The The energy of you is the swing set. What is the energy of their person? What is the energy of their person? We have the chimes coming out for your person's energy. And at the back of this deck is Willow Tree. What is the advice for my viewer, Spirit? What is the advice for my viewer? What is the advice for my viewer? We have Sagittarius. And what is the advice for their person? For your person, we have the third house reversed. Interesting. At the back of this deck is Aquarius. So, having a look at the overall picture now, we can kind of see how that seed is, well, I can definitely see, I realize a lot of you are intuitive. So when I say that, I really want to focus and put a spotlight on your intuitive abilities as well. But I do think that a lot of us can see how that seed energy does really translate into what is happening next in love. I really think that you and this person are trying to create quite the legacy together. I feel like you and this person are definitely identifying potential within each other, and you're definitely identifying the fact that this partnership has a lot of potential. For some of you, this is about trying to decide whether or not to grow your partnership through having children together, through buying a home together, through moving together. And there is a very big energy about this next chapter, but it's fostered off of this sweetness to continue to just build and spend quality time together. So I don't think that for a lot of you this is a conscious thing. I think that for most of you, you're just genuinely enjoying the time that you have together. And there is a genuine sweetness of you, my viewer, in observing and feeling such a warmth within your connection to this person. I think that your perspectives of this next chapter are very different, only because your person comes across as a little more analytical. You guys are coming across as more ambitious. And while you may think that you're an overthinker as well, I just think that your person is more of like a realistic overthinker, in that they are trying to do what they can to be responsible, where you're responsible as well, but you have a softer energy here, one that isn't too worried or stressed or concerned. You just want the two of you to first and foremost continue to have the love that you have for one another, and then secondarily continue to grow that love in whatever way that you can. So I do think that a lot of you with this seed energy and the King of Pentacles are going to have an opportunity to strengthen your connection in a very tangible way. The King of Pentacles in a relationship reading could be about you guys taking your commitment to the next level, to a higher level, and really challenging the ways in which your material worlds cross over. This could look like you achieving a milestone, like moving in together, working together if you want to do that, or it could be about spending more time together if this is a newer connection, trying to, sign up for something together where you both go to classes together, or you both decide to commit to something together. This could even look like getting a dog together, that idea of sharing responsibility together with the intention of deepening the level of commitment. The King of Pentacles is the pinnacle of the material responsibility and the material suit in general. So I do think that there is a serious element to this connection in the next chapter of your love life. The serious element seems to be influenced by material expectations and this desire to be at the highest point possible. the most committed as possible, the most successful as possible. With that in mind, we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed right next to it. And this Knight of Pentacles reversed is talking about being able to, I want to say, adjust. So I feel like this connection may experience some growing pains as it transitions from a more, I want to say, a less mature or a less committed space into a more, committed space, going from that Knight to the King. The way that this transition feels is that you're kind of trying to figure things out, little things. If you're moving in together, you're trying to figure out what the sleep routine is going to be like, how to give each other space and how to set up your dressing table the way that you like it, how to make room for your clothes in the dressing table, how to put the toilet seat up or down, whatever it is. It's like all these little things. With that being said, I can also see the Knight of Pentacles reversed as the two of you getting the chance to explore what you want to do next. And then there's almost an energy here of experimentation. So I don't think you have to rush this next chapter. I think it's just about enjoying it for what it is and kind of taking a more natural approach to it. But I feel like one of you is very you need to know the details, you need to know the plans. And it feels like your person's energy, they want to feel like they know what to expect. So I feel like they might be a little bit more well, what about this? What about that? Whereas you're we'll figure it out when we get there. That's what it kind of feels like. But I do think that in the next chapter, this Knight of Pentacles reversed is representing a theme of trying to kind of be more flexible, less rigid, and a little bit more understanding of each other instead of critical, because it does feel like we're getting to see each other in a different way, in a more vulnerable way, where we feel like we're under a bit of a microscope. And that can happen when we try to elevate things without sort of taking it slower or doing it at a faster pace, or in general, just elevating things. We can experience that feeling of vulnerability through the growing pains. Almost like a lobster that's just molted its outer shell and it's vulnerable. That's what it feels like. I don't know why that's the imagery. With this Temperance energy over here, I do think that what is next in love for this couple is that you guys are still trying to figure things out. There are going to be moments where tempers could flare and energy could clash. And this is very helpful. I mean, listen, when you're in a couple and you want something together, you have to get on each other's nerves. You have to aggravate each other a little bit or agitate each other a little bit to be able to understand the boundaries as well as expectations, as well as where you may need to work on things if this is really what you want moving forward. And that's what I see here. Temperance upright is when we're being a bit too careful. It's all about moderation. When it's reversed, it could be about overindulgence. I think that you two may be spending a lot of time together, or there may be an energy here where you have to separate because you're both trying to focus on long term. And so temporarily you need to kind of make this decision where you're going to do this so that you can come back and really give this connection the fair chance it deserves. I think you, my viewer, may even be traveling, which could cause a distance between you and your person. And in that period, they are going to be overthinking a lot, but they're also going to be realizing a lot. And likewise, Temperance reversed is about observing flare-ups in your energy, upsets, triggers, to be able to use that as an opportunity to discuss these things, to address these things, and to understand these things. You may not even know that that's an issue until the issue arises. So I do see it as an opportunity, but then again, that is a very optimistic card. So with this Empress energy, I believe that this surmises this chapter by reminding us that the goal of all of this energy is to think about growth and how we can ensure that this connection is continuing to grow. There is an energy here of creation. I really can't shake that imagery of something growing here, creating something together. I really think that some of you guys may be experiencing a pregnancy in the next chapter of your love life here with this person. And I think with the Empress card being here, there is the potential for the two of you to experience a very nurturing, stable, but I want to say warmth between the two of you. And I say this, but I feel like it's just is. Like, it's not anything new. I would be very surprised if you approach this reading with some really deep concerns. I think that if you are deeply concerned, it's because you've just overconsumed external information and you've confused yourself to the point where you're here. But I actually think that for a lot of you, you're going to feel like, yes, like my connection is solid and this person is serious about me, and we do both want to grow this even further. So your next chapter is more so about working through the flare-ups and having a little bit more patience towards each other's ways of doing things, observing each other in a more intimate setting where you are noticing each other in different ways, and there seems to be a microscope on each other's behaviors and habits, and specifically around shared environment, a mutual environment. So the themes here are about really getting to see each other for who you are, this authenticity, getting under each other's skin a little bit because of that, but doing this with the risk of building something even more. I do think that when we have a look at your energy here, there is an energy of sweetness. There's a beautiful, loving energy coming from you, my viewer, of somebody who is willing to really try here, to really put in an amount of effort that feels sincere, sweet, almost innocent. There's a strong sense of devotion from you towards this person's energy in the next chapter of your love life. And when we look at the guidebook, this card talks about themes of playing, children again, the rain, and your inner child. You're in a park, dark clouds roll in, and you hear thunder in the distance. Immersed in a book, you don't realize that the park has cleared out and you're all alone. As rain starts to pummel the asphalt, the swing creaks back and forth. You are reminded of your childhood when things felt simple and free. Let yourself feel this again, even if only for a moment. Your inner child will thank you. Again, children. I do think that the two of you are trying to evolve together, which could mean that your health is a priority too, and looking after yourselves is a priority. But if you're pregnant or if you are trying to have children, that's why there could feel like there's a microscope on you, because you're both trying to make sure that you're doing what you can to be able to successfully conceive or to be able to successfully carry this child. But that childish energy just feels like the nature of this connection at times. Very simple, very intimate, very carefree, very almost like instinctive. Like the two of you just feel like you're nesting together in this next chapter. I don't see a lot of external energy here. In fact, I think that this person is trying to eliminate external influence or interference from siblings specifically, but also on the online world. So it feels like the two of you are just in a little bubble together. Let's have a look at this chimes energy next. This is their energy. Now I'm going to clarify with the guidebook as well, but intuitively this chimes energy is about some sort of warning or some sort of signal. So I do think that this person is, in terms of their energy, feeling very called to kind of step up or to be the best version of themselves. There is this feeling here of them receiving like a response, an intuitive or instinctive response. And I can't help but feel like they're just bouncing off your energy. They're loving the energy that you're bringing in, and there's this call and response feeling of your energies. But when we have a look at the guidebook, the themes around this card are contemplation, the wind, listening, and singing. The wind speaks through objects, just as we can hear it singing through these chimes. What is it saying? Has it seen where we are heading, or is the wind with us only in the present? That makes me think of that Pocahontas song. Controversial movie, controversial story. But the Disney adaptation of that story, or that part of history, because it is history. Anyway, I had to breathe out real heavy for that. Makes me think of that song with I think she's the one that sings it, Pocahontas, and she's talking to Willow, Grandmother Willow, about the wind, or is she explaining it to John? Anyway, there is a song in there about the wind and being able to feel and receive messages from the wind. So this person is definitely entering a more instinctive, intuitive version of themselves. I do see a lot of feminine energy here, but the feminine energy seems to be coming from the connection that you've built together. It doesn't seem to be overtly strong in you, my viewer, or this person. It seems to be the nature of the connection that you're growing, a feminine energy of a call and response here. I see a lot of themes overall of stability, of growth, of commitment, of loyalty, longevity, with these hiccups of having to transition through a period in which you're both learning more about each other and you're both having to adapt quite quickly to a growing situation. Now, with that being said, let's have a look at what your advice is for one another. Actually, I'm not quite ready. I want to ask more questions. And we do have time. I've only been talking for 20 minutes. I want to ask more questions. I think I need this guidebook, Spirit. This guidebook, this deck. Spirit, when we have a look at my Group 3's energy, what can you tell us about this King of Pentacles? How is their connection deepening? What does all this earth energy mean for my Group 3's? What is this about? The Ace of Swords reversed. This person feels like they're learning from a mistake. They're very critical of making mistakes. They don't seem to want to mess, or they are learning from their mistakes in this next chapter. The other message I have is the Knight of Swords and the Tower. Yeah, this could be somebody who feels like they are still learning and maturing. And they're trying to be the most mature version of themselves, but they still feel like they're picking up the pieces of a sharp learning curve. The two of you may have recently gone through a harsh realization or a very sudden quick change, a very quick turn of events. And this person feels like they're still picking up the pieces. They're still dealing with that situation while also feeling called to act on something else here with you. This person is very responsive, reactive, and fast. They seem to be wanting to move quickly in this connection. And their goal with this Knight of Swords is to make sure that the actions that they're taking are to show up for you. Like, they don't want you to doubt their presence here. They want you to know that they're right here every step of the way, regardless of the mistakes, regardless of the collateral, regardless of whatever's changing. You want you to know that their presence is here. So Spirit, what can you tell us about that Knight of Pentacles reversed and these changes? What is changing in this connection in this next chapter? What are these changes about? We have a few cards. We have the Three of Cups, we have the Five of Cups, and we have the Two of Pentacles. How do we keep getting Temperance reversed, Spirit? What is this Temperance reversed? You guys do have a decision to make about the priorities in this connection. Temperance reversed is a misunderstanding. One person wants one thing, the other person wants another thing. So how do we see eye to eye? We see eye to eye by both realizing that we kind of want the same thing. I do feel like the two of you need to approach the situation with a lot of compassion. But essentially, the Knight of Pentacles and the Blasted Tower reversed is about the fact that the changes are... I feel like one of you is disappointed about the way that this connection seems to be growing. only because I can see an unexpected pregnancy here, or I can see an unexpected proposal. And the way that this proposal is coming about is one person just wants the connection to move slowly, or to move kind of without restraint. And the other person is really trying to make sure that the connection has growth in a tangible way, like needing labels to define the nature of this relationship. And so I think that the goal here is you to have a strong sense of attachment to each other. I feel that you are both either in love with each other, or there is a lot of love for each other. And so what is changing is that the love that you have for each other is growing and manifesting into more, either a child or a deeper sense of commitment. But that seems to be disappointing, because one person is like, well, what is this going to change? How is this going to change us? By putting labels on things, or by bringing a child into the picture, are we bringing changes that could destroy us? Is this going to create more challenges for us? Is this going to impact the love that we already have? How are we going to make this work? And I do think that it's your person, but I could be reading this wrong. It could be you, my viewer. One of you is very uncertain about how to make these changes positive, and about how to cope with this added change, because they do want this. They feel excited about this, but they're worried about what those changes mean, what those changes imply. And they're also worried about little things, let alone the overall responsibility of what commitment is. And so that's why I think overall you both want the same thing. You both want each other, and you both want to continue to love each other. But as you get to know each other more, you're realizing that the way that you want these things is very different. And so there needs to be a lot of patience, a lot of compassion, a lot of, I want to say, understanding. But the Strength card is just about putting your pride to the side and getting it done. And that's why we had the 9 of Wands here too, because you need to be able to persevere through those temporary feelings, those little changes to your lifestyle, to be able to get to that space where it'll all pay off. I think that if you guys are moving in together, if that's what that next level of commitment is about, there could be some differences in your lifestyles that only really come out once you're living together. And these feel little in hindsight, but at the time it's just a lot to have to deal with. And one of you may not be very good with change. One of you may need a lot more time to kind of warm up and to accommodate towards the changes that are occurring. But overall, it's again those little sort of flare-ups in your connection that seem to challenge you in ways that you wouldn't have known had you not been put in that situation. Overall, I do see there being a lot of love here. I see you and this person being very happy together, feeling very happy in this connection. And I also think that the two of you are going to feel like you can overcome these things because you're very confident in how you feel about each other. These things are just little and you will get over it. If anything, I see your love deepening, and I see you guys thinking about your future differently once you get to embrace this new cycle. It's very important that you talk about what the differences are though, and just kind of find ways to compromise where you can. Otherwise, one person will start to feel like they're making a lot of sacrifices. They're not really getting to live the life that they want to. I really think that this connection has long-term potential, but one of you guys seems to be very accommodating as a personality. They just want to kind of give in to whatever the other person wants. I don't think that that's true. I think that over time this could lead to resentment. So whoever that overly accommodating person is, please consider communicating more effectively and raising issues more effectively as well, so that these don't turn into resentments down the track. So that's what I'm seeing. Looking at your advice now, For you, my viewer, we have Sagittarius in the upright position. I feel that your advice in this next chapter is very much about expansion. Sagittarius is very ambitious energy. It's also a very optimistic energy. So I think that your spiritual team really wants you to stay optimistic and ambitious, but they also want you to kind of go with the flow here and just see how things can transpire, how things are going to happen. You're the one that seems to be more kind of carefree and more open to how things will evolve. You're coming across as more feminine as well. The key words behind this card, according to the guidebook, are optimism, exploration, knowledge, commitment, religion, search, clingy, and irritable in terms of like shadow attributes. In a reading, it's important that we have interests and hobbies in order to be a well-rounded person. When we are feeling intellectually and physically unfulfilled, we can become clingy, irritable, and a burden to those around us. Make a list of all the things you've always wanted to learn or participate in, and narrow it down to your top 3, then do them. On the flip side, you could be spreading yourself too thin with multiple commitments, and Sagittarius, while an adaptable energy, can only keep it up for so long before burning out. So that's essentially your advice. I really think with that card being upright, you're being encouraged to make sure that this connection is one aspect of your life. Although there is a strong sense of devotion here, you guys may have the tendency to hyperfixate on everything this person is doing wrong when you're not allocating enough free time towards other interests and hobbies. I do think that you and this person get on like a house on fire, but when you're just kind of in that little love nest of yours, all these things kind of just come to the surface, and it becomes very easy to hyperfixate and to scrutinize and micromanage the situation with them. Let's have a look at their energy now. With the 3rd house reversed, I do feel like this person's going to have to reassess the way that they communicate with you. With this card reversed, their advice seems to be about treating this situation with more compassion and giving you a chance to communicate how you feel, while also I think this person needs to be receptive more than anything. They need to really take what you're saying to them on board to process it, and they also need to maybe do their own research about things. They need to understand more about the things that you're talking to them about. They need to kind of do their own research or get more advice or kind of get a professional opinion or just get on Google and learn more about whatever the heck it is that you're talking to them about. But I feel like there'll be times in this chapter where you're bringing issues up, or you're saying like, you know, this is what I mean when I say like, I need you to move this on this side of the counter. They could be like, why? And you'll say, well, because that's where I put my makeup, and it's important to me that I have this space here in the morning when I'm getting ready to be able to have everything accessible. And I feel like this person doing their research could come from a lack of awareness. Like if the two of you are, for example, just using that example again, moving in together, maybe this person hasn't lived with many partners and they don't know what it is to share their space. But in the guidebook, this card does talk about communication, analytics, transportation, short trips, problems, and delays. I feel like this person's advice is to really understand the problems with you, because I do think that they may not kind of know how to react or respond until they kind of get to the root of what those problems are. Now, the thing is, this person may be very particular about how they keep things. And if you're moving into their space, they may have a hard time adjusting to the changes that you bring in their routine and in their environment. If they're moving into your space, they may want things to just kind of be perfect straight away. And they may get very flustered and frustrated by the fact that it takes a while for the two of you to get used to this next chapter, these changes. This card in a reading, sometimes it can feel as though the universe is conspiring against us. Cars break down, we send the wrong email to our boss, and we have disagreements with our loved ones. But rest assured that the delays and daily setbacks you're facing are only temporary. I feel like that's the main message with that card. These things can be solved easily with a good mechanic swallowing your pride or apologizing. Too often we believe that speaking our mind is the most important part of communicating, but there is another piece to that puzzle: listening. Take some time to listen to what the people you love have to say right now. You may get more out of it than you realize. That's really what I was feeling. I wish they were the ones watching the reading, because it's going to be hard for you to go, well, that lady that I watch on YouTube, the Australian tarot reader, she said that you need to listen more. Maybe you need to get them to watch this too. But I feel like we nailed it with that energy. I think that that's the main advice, is Spirit saying they just need to listen. And maybe it's that classic case of like, they want to fix the problem, but you're like, I don't need you to fix it. I just need you to understand the fact that I'm upset. But anyway, that's what I'm seeing for you, my group 3s, when it comes to what is next in love for you. I'm going to end your YouTube reading and go into that extended now, where we will be focusing more on the long-term potential of this connection. We're going to have a look at what you need to know about your relationship moving forward. We're also going to have a look at how your person's heart space is going to be, what they'll be feeling for you in this next chapter, what they'll be thinking about in terms of the future with you, and what they'll be focused on during this next chapter in love. And then we're going to have a look at the potential of this connection, and we're going to get long-term advice from your higher self and from Spirit on how you can maximize the potential of this connection and obtain the best possible outcome. So if that sounds interesting, and especially if the first part of your reading did resonate, the link to your extended reading is in the description box below, as well as the pinned comment in the comment section. That link does take you to my website, where I host most of my extended readings. So it's really important, if you're new, if you're returning, that you double check, triple check before you check out that you have selected the right extended reading. Remember, you're my group 3 couples. I will have 2 group 3s. You're my group 3 couples of what is next in love. Please triple check before you spend any money that you've selected the right group. Thank you so much for all your time, energy, and support right here on YouTube, group 3s. If this is where we are parting ways, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Until our paths cross again. Bye.